Brawijaya University is a favorite campus in Indonesia. The students come from various regions in Indonesia as well as from abroad. Brawijaya University was foundation of Malang High School in 1963. Located in the center of Malang City, which is famous for fresh and cool air, Brawijaya University has created a great environment with well-maintained spatial and supported by quality teachers from Brawijaya University and out of Brawijaya University, making Brawijaya University as a comfortable and conducive campus.
Universitas Brawijaya has vision to be a pioneering and innovative university with international reputations of science and technology advancements that form the basis of culture-based industries for communities' welfare. Universitas Brawijaya mission are: first, provide graduates with international standard education that instill in them belief in Almighty God and religious piety, noble character, self-reliance, professionalism, and entrepreneurial spirit. Second, play the role of university as an agent of renewal, pioneers, and disseminator of science, technology, art, and humanities, as well as force of the nation economic development based on the value of noble local wisdom. And third, implement superior, equitable, and sustainable higher education governance.
Currently, Brawijaya University is one of the excellent universities in Indonesia, with more than 60,000 students in various degrees, starting from 6 programs for the 3-year diploma and 2 programs for the 4-year diploma. Brawijaya University also has 9 professional programs and 18 medical specialist programs. Those are supported by more than 140 teachers and 400 research lecturers who experience teaching and researching in various fields: technology, science, and humanities. Brawijaya University is ready to develop quality and international standard education process to produce graduates with international competitiveness. Brawijaya University, as the embodiment of commitment, as world-class entrepreneurial university, various facilities, infrastructure, and various vehicles in various student activities are provided to ensure the creating of participants and excellent students. Many graduates of Brawijaya University currently occupy important positions and contribute to Indonesians or international level. Brawijaya University always promotes students' grade and quality to continue to achievements, compete and develop talent interests. In global competitions, not only academic but also non-academic fields is the same priority to increase achievement of Brawijaya University students. Involving in social life in a campus will create a good and whole university experience. Other than that, social engagement will help increase available skills and develop some of soft skills that are maximums: interpersonal relationships, communications, public speaking, and time management. Brawijaya University provides facilities to improve the quality of academic facilities. Among these are: academic facilities, the library, Laboratory for Biological Sciences and Food Sciences (LSIH), Central Laboratory of Science and Engineering (LSSR), Institute of Research and Community Services Brawijaya University LPPM. Institute for Educational Development and Quality Assurance LPPPM. PJM. International Office. Biosense Institute. UB Media and Communication Group. UB Press. Integrated Laboratory. UB Forest. Agrotechnopark. Center for Disability Studies and Services. Interest and Talent Facilities. Student Activity Units. Pertamina Sport Arena. Sport Clubhouse Pertamina UB. Samanta Krida Hall. Widya Loka Hall. Football field and other sport facilities at Dieng campus. Supporting facilities. UB bus fleet. Student dormitory. Employee Cooperative KPRI. International Students Dormitory. Bank and ATM Center.
Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, may prosperity for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, and all national, also international delegates and audience in this hybrid conference, welcome to the 7th International Conference on Green Agro-Industry and Bioeconomy, Icgab 2023.
We are absolutely honored to stand before you as your master of ceremonies for this remarkable event. But before that, let me introduce ourselves. I'm Devi and here is my partner Brian. This conference serves as a beacon of knowledge and innovation where experts and enthusiasts from around the world gather to discuss and share insights on a sustainable agro-industry and the bioeconomy. We have come together to explore and advocate for a greener and more sustainable future for agriculture and industry.
This year, the conference theme is Emerging Trends in Bioprocessing and Sustainable Agro-Industrial Technology, reflecting the growing interest in green technology and the need to address environmental challenge through innovative solutions. Before we are moving to the next sessions, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the organizers, sponsors, and every individual who has contributed for making this event possible.
We would like to say thank you for Faculty of Agricultural Technology of Universitas Brawijaya as an organizer, University Putra Malaysia and P4I as a co-organizer, also for our sponsor and partner that already support us, the International Association of Advances in Engineering and Technology, the ASEAN Universities Consortium on Food and Agro-Based Engineering and Technology Education, Forum Komunikasi Perguruan Tinggi Teknologi Pertanian Indonesia, Perteta, Perhimpunan Teknik Pertanian Indonesia, Asosiasi Profesi Teknologi Agroindustri, Perhimpunan Ahli Teknologi Pangan Indonesia, and Bank Negara Indonesia.
Also, we would like to express our gratitude to Professor Widodo as Rector of Universitas Brawijaya, Professor Imam Santoso as Vice Rector of Academic Affairs Universitas Brawijaya, Professor Yusuf Hendrawan as Dean of Faculty Agricultural Technology, and Mrs. Nimatul Iza, PhD, as the Chair of the Icgab Conference.
And to our honorable speakers, Professor Ngoge Cheng of the University of Malaya, Malaysia, as the first keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Chalida Burompichai Chartkul of Chulalongkorn University, Thailand, as the second keynote speaker, Professor Ryozo Noguchi as Kyoto University, Japan as the third keynote speaker, Professor Yusuf Wibisono of Universitas Brawijaya Indonesia as the fourth keynote speaker, Professor Yanis Yoropoulos of the University of Southampton, UK, as the fifth keynote speaker.
Today we will have the privilege of hearing some of the brightest minds in the field. Our program is packed with enlightening sessions, engaging discussions, and opportunities for networking and collaborations. We encourage each and every one of you to actively engage in the sessions, ask questions, share your experience, and make the most of this unique opportunity. Your active participation will enrich the collective knowledge and drive positive changes.
In this hall, we have people from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and disciplines. But here today, we are all united for a common purpose, a passion for sustainability, and a commitment to a greener future. Let's cherish this unity and the potential it holds for transformation. And let us embark on this journey of discovery, collaboration, and inspiration together. Let's sow the seeds of change, nurture our shared vision, and collectively reap the benefits of a greener and more sustainable world.
Once again, welcome to Icgab 2023. We are about to embark on an incredible journey together, and thank you for being here, and let's make this conference unforgettable experience. The schedule for today's event includes opening by the Master of Ceremonies, singing Indonesian National Anthem, Indonesian Traditional Dance Performance, opening speeches, plenary session 1, coffee break, plenary session 2, lunch break, parallel sessions, poster sessions, and lastly, closing ceremony and awarding.
Before we proceed with the events program, we will unite in a profound and patriotic tradition, the singing of our beloved national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, I kindly request your full participation in this meaningful act of patriotism. Let us stand together as one and sing our national anthem with the pride and love that it deserves.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated again. We have something special for you today, a performance of traditional Indonesian dance full of charm. It is an honor to present such talented dancers named Floretta.
Floretta is one of the departments under the auspices of the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, that specialize in the field of dance art. Floretta have been collaborated with BIFES, Brawijaya Film Festival, at 2020. Floretta also has achieved many accolades, such as winner of National Folklore Festival at 2018, overall winner at Gebiar Tari Festival 26 at 2018, third place of National Folklore Festival at 2020, and etc.
Let's welcome the Sorote Lintang dance by Floretta.
Thank you to Violeta for the outstanding performance. Next, we will have the opening speech by Mrs. Nikmatul Iza, PhD, as the chair of the ICGAB conference. Please welcome Mrs. Iza. To Mrs. Iza, the floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm deeply honored to welcome you all to the 7th International Conference on Green Agro-Industry and Bioeconomy, ICGAB 2023. It is my privilege to extend a warm and hearty welcome to each and every one of you gathered here today from various corners of the world. First and foremost, I would like to express our gratitude to the Rector of Universitas Brawijaya, represented by the Vice Rector of Universitas Brawijaya, Professor Imam Santoso, for gracing us with his presence and continued support to his event. We are also privileged to have in our midst the Dean and Vice Deans of Faculty of Agricultural Technology, whose tireless efforts have made this conference possible. This annual conference is organized by the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, and this year's conference theme is Emerging Trends in Bioprocessing and Sustainable Agro-Industrial Technology. This reflects the pressing global needs for innovative solutions that address the challenges of sustainable agriculture and environmental stewardship. In a world facing unprecedented ecological changes, our gathering here today signifies a shared commitment to the future of our world. It is with great pleasure that I introduce our esteemed keynote speakers, whose expertise and contributions have significantly shaped the way we approach these challenges. We are honored to have with us Professor Yanis Europoulos from University of Southampton, UK. Thank you very much for coming here. Also, Professor Chalida Borombichai Chartkul from Chulalongkorn University, Thailand. Kap Kun Mak, and Professor Yusuf Ibisono from Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia. We also have online keynote speakers here. Professor Ngoh Gekcheng from University Malaya, Malaysia, and Professor Yozo Noguchi from Kyoto University, Japan. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimashita. This conference is not only about the distinguished speakers, but also about the participants who have gathered here from around the world. And we have nearly 200 participants representing various countries, including Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and Japan. We are thrilled to have you here, all here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference aims to bring together researchers, academics, industry experts, policymakers, and practitioners from around the world to exchange knowledge, ideas, and best practices in green agro-industry and bioeconomy. Participants will have the opportunity to present the latest research findings, share their experiences and insights, and network with peers and stakeholders. In this occasion, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all the individuals and organizations who have made ICGAB 2023 possible, to our sponsors, our dedicated organizing committees, and the Faculty of Agricultural Technology. Your contributions have been truly invaluable. Finally, I wish you all a productive and enriching experiences at this event, and once again, welcome and enjoy the ICGAB 2023. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mrs. Iza, for the amazing speech. Next, we will have the opening speech by Professor Yusuf Hendrawan, as Dean of Faculty Agricultural Technology. Please welcome Professor Yusuf.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. The Excellency Rector Universitas Brawijaya, here represented by Vice Rector of Academic, Professor Imam Santoso, keynote speaker, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. I'm truly honored to stand before you as the Dean of the Faculty of Agricultural Technology at this remarkable gathering, the 7th International Conference on Green Agro-Industry and Bioeconomy 2023. First and foremost, on behalf of the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, I extend my warmest greeting and heartfelt welcome to the 7th International Conference on Green Agro-Industry and Bioeconomy. This conference holds great significance for our academic community and the broader global community. Over the past 7 years, we have witnessed the Icgab conference series evolve into a forum that addresses critical issues and innovations within the realm of agricultural technology. It is a testament to our collective commitment to advancing knowledge and shaping a sustainable future. I wish to express my sincere gratitude for the unwavering support from our esteemed university and the tireless dedication of our faculty members whose efforts have made this conference possible. Over the past 7 years, we have collectively established the legacy of Icgab conference, delving into pivotal and pressing matters within the field of agricultural technology. The primary focus of this year's Icgab is centered on addressing the global demand within the agro-industrial sector. According to the Food and Agricultural Organization, the world's population is projected to reach 9.73 billion by 2050. Particularly in regions like Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia, agricultural output must be doubled by 2050 to meet the escalating demand. Agriculture in 2050 needs to produce almost 50% more food, feed, and biofuel than it did in 2012. Thus, we must collectively invest significant efforts in advancing agro-industrial technology research to meet these imminent challenges. A time-honored saying from Japanese culture wisely affirmed, "Selamatan ono ing ngarsa rukun jalinan mulya," underscoring the significant role of unity in fostering prosperity. Universitas Brawijaya, renowned for its academic excellence, is steadfast in enriching the academic experience through collaborative ventures. Within the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, we actively partake in a myriad of international academic endeavors, encompassing this conference, the 3-in-1 programs, distant learnings, summer course, and global community development initiatives. It is a distinct privilege for the Faculty of Agricultural Technology at Universitas Brawijaya to assume the role of the host, extending a warm invitation to researchers from across the world for Icgab 2023. This occasion provides an avenue for the dissemination of knowledge, the sharing of research findings and cutting-edge technologies, and vibrant exchange of ideas and success stories among esteemed stakeholders and ourselves. In closing, I sincerely hope that you all find this conference enriching and inspiring. It is my heartfelt wish that we will be able to convene in person for a truly immersive conference experience in the near future. Thank you for your presence here today, and I wish you all a productive and insightful time at the 7th International Conference on Green Agro-Industry and Bioeconomy 2023. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Professor Yusuf for the amazing speech. Next, we will have the opening speech by Professor Imam Santoso as Vice Rector of Academic Affairs, Universitas Brawijaya. Please welcome Professor Imam Santoso.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. The Honorable Dean of Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Professor Yusuf Hydrawan, The Excellencies, keynote speakers, Vice Dean, Head of Department, faculty members, all of the participants, and our students, especially graduate student and undergraduate student, and all other participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Brawijaya University, it is a great honor for me to extend a very warm welcome for all of you in the Universitas Brawijaya and join with our international conference, Icgab 2023. This conference is one of the maybe more than 15 international conference in Brawijaya University. So faculty and university have same program to encourage our faculty members, our students, especially in graduate school, to disseminate the idea, the research results, and many things related with how to disseminate information. And of course, the important thing is how to engage with the other faculties members around the world, at least around in Indonesia, to collaborate in research activities and publication. So this point of this conference is not only how to share the idea, but the important thing is how to engage all of the participants and discuss how to organize and to plan research together, and to join research and to publication. Related with this theme of this conference, emerging trend in bioprocess and sustainable agro-industry technology, reflecting the growing interest in green technology. Green technology, sustainable technology, I think it is the main topic in the many areas research. So, Faculty of Agricultural Technology use this topic as very useful to support us, especially faculty members, to get the point and for collaborating with the other faculty members around the world. I believe that this theme encompasses in depth and up-to-date information on advanced research on agriculture, food, agro-industry, water and energy, agroforestry, and the environment, and other fields related with the green technology. As one of the reputable university, Universitas Brawijaya is committed to contributing to finding solutions for the major challenges faced by our nation and the world, especially for preparing the solution for the future challenges. High research quality in the field of agricultural and agro-industrial technology will serve as a solid foundation to address numerous issues, both now and in the future. With the collaboration and multidisciplinary studies will comprehensively and effectively and efficiently solve these issues. So this conference is a very valuable opportunity to transfer knowledge from academics, professional industries, address these challenges. Hopefully, this conference, through the main and the parallel sessions, will significantly contribute to promoting and highlight in critical role of agro-industrial technology as one of the industrial strategies in growing bioeconomy in Indonesia and in the world. Universitas Brawijaya play an essential role in supporting sustainable development through various research finding and community services program integrated within our roadmap encompassing food security, energy security, good governance, and agroforestry, health and nutrition. Therefore, it is an our honor for Universitas Brawijaya to host Icgab 2023 to disseminate knowledge, research results, technology, exchange ideas, and share success stories among us and stakeholders from around the world, and especially in our team today. Finally, I wish you all an enjoyable conference, a fruitful experience, and productive networking from this conference. We hope this event not only share the idea, but also to how to engage between us to plan research together and how to develop many things, academic activities in the future. And as the representative of Universitas Brawijaya, I open this international conference officially. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Professor Imam for the amazing speech. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the highly anticipated plenary session 1 of our event. It's an honor to have you all with us today as we embark on a journey of knowledge, insight, and inspiration. Before we proceed, I'd like to express our sincere appreciation to our speakers and moderator for joining us today and sharing their knowledge. Your presence enriches this event and brings us closer to a deeper understanding of the issues at hand.
Without further ado, allow me to introduce our esteemed moderator that will lead this plenary session 1, Mr. Tunjung Mahatmanto, PhD, and Mrs. Wika Agustin Primadania, PhD, as note taker. Also our distinguished speaker for this plenary session 1, Professor Ngo Kek Cheng of the University of Malaya, Malaysia, as the first keynote speakers, and Professor Dr. Chalida Borompi Chaichatkul of Chulalongkorn University, Thailand, as the second keynote speaker. Each of them brings a wealth of experiences and knowledges to this session. So without any more delay, let's begin plenary session 1 and welcome our moderator, note taker, and speakers to the podium.
Yes, okay. Thank you for the introduction. Today we will have the plenary session with Professor Insinyur Dr. Ngo Kek Cheng, and the second speaker will be Professor Dr. Chalida. Professor Dr. Ngo Kek Cheng will present her talk online via Zoom. Dr. Ngo? Okay, while waiting for Dr. Ngo to be presented online.
Right.
Hello, Dr. Ngo?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Tunjung, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Welcome,
Okay,
Dr.
good,
Ngo.
good.
How are you?
So I may share my screen then.
Okay, before we proceed, I will introduce you to the audience first.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay,
Thank you.
thank
Okay.
you.
So, Dr. Ngo, she is a professor at the Department of Chemical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Malaya, Malaysia. She did her undergrad and PhD at Queen's University of Belfast, United Kingdom. Her expertise is in fermentation technology, including biological processes, enzymatic saccharification, solid state fermentation, and wastewater treatment. And today she will deliver a topic about the conversion of lignocellulosic biomass into multiple value-added products. Before we proceed, I would like to remind the speakers that they have 20 minutes to present their talk, and I will remind them when the time is about to finish. Professor Ngo, time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tunjung. And let me share my screen. Share my... Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, I can see someone's nodding their head. Good. Right. So okay. Right. If everything goes well, so I would like to thank Dr. Tunjung for the introduction, and also a good morning to the conference chair, the dean of the faculty, and the rector of the University of Brawijaya, conference organizing committee, and ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm Ngo from University of Malaya. So, like Indonesia, Malaysia has abundance of agriculture crops. Every year, we generate huge amount of lignocellulosic waste rich in cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin, which has a potential to be converted to multiple products with value-added products. With that note in mind, so this morning, I would like to share the research works that have been performed since a decade ago by my research team. And I will include them in this talk this morning, entitled Discovery, the Potential of Lignocellulosic Biomass Waste. Okay. This general introduction actually condenses everything that I'm going to say in the next 20 minutes. The biomass waste, we need to identify and, of course, need to characterize them, and then to decide what sort of pre-treatment processes or other conversion processes are necessary for them to convert to the desired products. As you can see, the targeted products can be reducing sugar, enzymes, biofuel, or any other active compounds that will align with the bioprocess conversion. Next, if you look at this polymeric matrix, the stubborn recalcitrant in the lignocellulosic biomass, lignin, cellulose, and hemicellulose, is actually causing a lot of problem for us to convert the agricultural waste into something useful. So what should we do? Before we go into that, these are some of the lignocellulosic biomass that my research team had looked into. This is only some of them. So today, I'm going to just focus on two due to time constraint. One is sugarcane bagasse, SCB, and the other one is oil palm empty fruit bunch, EFB. Okay? If you look at this carefully, the multiple products can be produced from pre-treated SCB in an integrated reactor. That is the entire things that I want to share with all today. Sugarcane bagasse, the waste consists of cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, and moisture and ash as well. The recalcitrant, to disrupt them, to release them, we need to go through a dissolution process, pre-treatment, to disrupt the crystalline structure of the cellulose, and that can be done using ionic liquid. The ionic liquid, the conventional, the non-conventional green solvent, ionic liquid, and DS will be the one that I want to share with all in today's talk. So ionic liquid is simply the mixture, the cation and anion that mix together. and they behave like liquid in the room temperature. They have solution power. So some of the ionic liquid that we employ in our studies are shown there. ENIM acetate and BIMN chloride, and DEP, of course, stand for diethyl phosphate. Okay. Now, if we look at the solution mechanism, what happened during the IOut pretreatment? Simply, you can see cellulose and the BIMN chloride, if put together, the anion of the ionic liquid deprotonates the hydroxyl oxygen atoms, and then the hydroxyl oxygen atoms interact with the cation, and that's how the cellulose dissolution takes place. Then hydrogen bond in the between the cellulose, is disrupted. That's a brief mechanism. Now, reducing sugar actually can be recovered from the pre-treated SCB using ionic liquid. We have done a quick experiment and using different types of ionic liquid shown there. From the crystallinity index, you can see in table 3, ENIM acetate, give the lowest crystalline index. Therefore, we selected that to compare with the conventional solvents such as hydrogen chloride and also sodium hydroxide at their respective pretreatment condition. And we have found that the ion liquid and the sodium hydroxide, as you can see, the U for RS, the reducing sugars, are pretty handsome. And more importantly, they have the ability to retain reducing sugar in the pre-treated SCB. That actually prompted us to work further on solid state fermentation. Now, in order to carry out solid state fermentation, we actually look at various types of white rot and brown rot fungi. And all these fungi, we have screened and chosen 4 types as listed there: P. cristoporium, P. sajucajo, P. radiata, and P. sanguinis. All of them possess ability to produce cellulase, which shows that they can, hydrolyze the cellulose further to reducing sugar. So, but in particularly, if you look at the line, the curve shown by P. radiata in blue and the P. sanguinis in red, they produce relatively higher amount of cellulase. Okay? So, with that, we look at the RS production using WRF. You can see okay. If we move on to the cellulose hydrolysis, we have found that enhancement also can take place if we, at certain time and at certain degree. And we have done a quick test on that. We have found that cellulose hydrolysis actually, give a higher amount of reducing sugar is actually performed at 50 degrees C as an enhancement step for cellulose hydrolysis. And also we found that under that conditions and submerged condition is preferable, as it will improve the accessibility of cellulase to the cellulose of pretreated SCB. So now, if we may look at the simultaneous production of RS and ethanol, when we counted WRF and yeast together, okay, if you look at the figure 7, okay, WRF was added at the 0 day where the SCB was pretreated. Okay, the stage 1, you can see the reducing sugars increase with time, and then it sharply increased until from day 4 to day 6. On day 6, we add on yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae into the reactor and continue for the fermentation for several days. And we noticed that ethanol and reducing sugar actually simultaneously, produced in a single reactor. This is something really very promising news and to us, and actually save a lot of space because all of them, actually take place in one single bioreactor. To sum everything up for the first part of the study, okay, you can see that sodium hydroxide pretreated SCB and with white rock fungi, P. sanguinis, that put in, and under the temperature of 30 degrees and 4 days, it actually triggered a lot of cellulase production and as well as reducing sugar produced. And stage 2, the cellulose hydrolysis was improved, for 2 days at a higher temperature of 50 degrees C. And with that, the yeast Saccharomyces was added. Immediately, ethanol productions was seen, and through the SMF fermentations for 4 days at 30 degrees C. So this consolidated sequential co-culture of WRF and yeast on the SCB can successfully produce multiple products as shown in this figure here. Now, due to time constraint, I move on to another part of the treatment that we have done on EFB. The main idea is to delify EFB. Okay, so what we have done is to study another type of solvent to delify the EFB. So to begin that, we select suitable DF of varying pH, and then incorporate the assistive technology such as microwave and ultrasonic irradiation into the system to enhance the lignin yield. And also, later on, we proceed to the combined assistive heating techniques on the DS pretreated EFB by running it sequentially. And we also study the pretreatment performance in terms of lignin yield, the properties of lignin, and the energy consumption. Okay? With that, let us look at the results. Or before that, let us look at DES, deep eutectic solvent. This is a designer solvent. It's a very green and it's very unique. As you can see here, chlorine chloride and urea, respectively, they have a high melting point. However, these two components put together, they manage to reduce the melting point, or rather the freezing point, to very low, about 12 degrees C. I've shown that. This is one of the example. So anyone interested in DS, synthesis, you can, look for the hydrogen bond donor and hydrogen bond acceptor and put together. That will reduce the melting point of the mixture. That's called eutectic mixture. Now, from the test on the delification ability, this is the slide simply show you very easy synthesis of DS. You just have to identify the HPA and HPD and then heat up until it is homogeneous. And then that was subject to a pretreatment of EFB. We have the solid and loading at 1 to 10 weight per weight. Okay, and temperature we subject to 120 degrees C in a conventional heating. And the duration, it takes a little bit long, it took us 8 hours. With this preliminary study, we realized that the different types of DS that we employed is seemingly acidic DS perform much better, outperform others. As you can see, 88% lignification from CCLA, which is choline chloride, lactic acid, and glucose and lactic acid of 55. Okay, compared to other. No. So we can say that acidic DS showed much better delification efficiency, which has led us to further look at the functional, how the effect of the functional group in the acidic DS, on the performance of the lignin yield. Okay. So if you can see from table 7, there are different types of carboxylic acid were tested. Okay, from the alpha hydroxy AHA and linear saturated and unsaturated carboxylic acids, and there are 9 types of them. Okay. And from the characterization results of the pre-treated, EFB, first of all, if you look at the graph on the left-hand side, and CCLA, the lactic acid, and CCFA, the formic acid, both show very promising lignin yield of more than 60% compared to others only less than 30% of lignin yield. Therefore, CCLA and CCFA, are our focus. All right. Now, why CCLA and CCFA that can have such a good lignin yield? It also shows that shorter alkyl group or the monocarboxylic acid is actually preferred, shorter chain preferred in the vilification of the process. If you look at the graph on the right-hand side, and what you can see there, all right, the CCLA, DEL stand for the butyric solvent in extracted lignin. The highest phenolic hydroxyl is 3.3 for CCLA. CCFA is moderate, phenolic hydroxyl content, and lowest is CCCA, citric acid. All right.
Professor Ngo.
So we only focus on CCLA and CCFA.
Professor
And
Ngo.
if
Excuse,
look at the
Professor Ngo.
the FTIR spectrum of the deal, okay, from the CCLA, and the aromatic and the aliphatic and phenolic and carbonyl skeleton all shown in this FTIR spectrum, which shows that these deal, the reactive lignin have the potential to be modified further.
Professor Ngo, I would like to remind
pressure
that the time is, you have 4 minutes left.
Okay, all right. Lignin derived for EFB. Okay, this is a comparison. What I'm trying to say here is lactic acid compared to the lactic acid GS, extracted lignin, and of course the later actually shown higher purity and a better reactive phenolic hydroxide content. And also we have discovered that CCLA is actually suitable to produce smaller aromatic chemicals due to the beta O4 linkages and also phenolic hydroxyl content. Whereas CCFA deal also not bad because of the char residue of 42 weight %. It is suitable as carbon source. All right. Now this is the later on we incorporate the assistive technology into that, UAE and MAE. All right, this mechanism show that. And what happened? This is also quickly show you the conditions we have employed, and then we have carried out sequential UMAE, MAE, we call UMAE, MAE plus UAE, one after the other, we call MUAE, the sequential pretreatment EFB. And then this is a result. Composition analysis show that, yes, most of the lignin has gone into the liquid phase. This is a solid phase, the recovery. And as you can see, this is in the solid phase, the lignin is very little for the UMAE, and also the xylene in the liquid phase also comparatively lower. All right. So from the FITRR analysis, you can see the aromatic, aliphatic, skeleton all can be shown there. All right, if you refer to the wavelength. Now, next, I also want to show the TGA. TGA also show that UMAE, okay, this is the comparison table. It's easy for everybody to see. UMAE lignin has the superiority compared to others because the composition temperature maximum, it is 100 degrees more than other lignin extracted by other assistive heating technology. Okay. Next, and also from the MMR we tested, aromatic region and aliphatic region also shown very, greatly in the UMAE treated, EFB, treatment. Okay. Now, as far as energy consumption is concerned, all right, so we also carried out some comparison study. CACE, we call it conventional extraction, is actually taking too long, and the heating required is, consumption is higher compared to UMAE. UMAE is save a lot of energy, and the gasification efficiency that we can achieve is as good as 82.7%. It's actually a very healthy result shown here. So this is summary. Sequential UMAE achieved 40% energy reduction when compared to conventional oil bath, delification, and with the efficiency of 82%, which is really good. Now, concluding remarks. These are the summary that I, draw from all the findings discussed earlier on. So lignocellulosic biomass waste indeed are suitable for multiple valuable products conversion. The ionic liquid also potential for SP pretreatment, and the sequential co-culture of WRF and these also demonstrate the ability of producing RS ethanol, and also RS cellulose ethanol can produce through SMF or pretreated SP in an integrated reactor. And as for the EFB part, CCLA-DS is really good. It shows very good diffusion efficiency, and also CCLA and CCFA deals are suitable for produce aromatic chemicals and carbon source. And finally, UMAE also preferred to conventional extraction of lignin of EFB due to shorter time and energy saving. All right. So these are some of the references for this presentation. And the research activities is all carried out in SPEC, in the Sustainable Process Engineering Center at the Faculty of Engineering, Chemical Engineering Department. And the process lab is in charge by me and my colleague, Associate Professor IR Dr. Adeline, focusing on this area. And we have a lot of research projects on that. And the pictures on the right-hand side are some of the collaborators and also other research students. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please give a round of applause to Professor Ngo.
Thank you.
We will have our Q&A session after the second speaker. I would like to invite Professor Shalida. Please come to the podium. Professor Shalida. So, Professor Shalida is an associate professor at the Department of Food Technology, Faculty of Science, Chulalongkorn University, Thailand. She did her undergrad and PhD at the University of New South Wales, Australia. Her study is aimed to develop natural polymer that is safe, functional, and biodegradable for the food and feed industry. So today she will talk about sustainable development of functional food products from konjac glucomannan. Before we proceed, I would like to remind the speaker that you have 20 minutes to present, and I will remind when the time is about to finish. Professor Shalida, time is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for very kind introductions, and thank you for invitation for me to come here to share some of my works on something maybe you are familiar. Just a moment. Okay, while we are waiting for the technical problems to be solved, so I think the topic that I would like to share with you today is about sustainable developments of functional food products from konjac glucomannan. Konjac is, well, English terms actually is come from Amorphophorus konjac, which is called, I think in here you call orang. I'm not sure how you're familiar with these tubers, but for you, porang is another variety of konjac. It's Amorphophorus murari, where we have the same in Thailand as well. And konjac glucomannan, well, glucomannan is dietary fibers which is in konjac tuber, is a kind like dietary fiber that we cannot digest. That means if you consume this kind of flour or dietary fibers, you cannot digest it in your digestive systems. So that means you won't get any glucose deliberate from that. So there is no energy. So it's famous in using a lot for weight control people or people who would like to have low energy food. Okay. Still not really working. I think I might have more extra time.
Yes, of course.
For
I haven't started the
for
time yet.
For the slide, yeah.
But yeah, we can actually discuss while waiting.
Yeah.
So Professor Shalida here is an expert in konjac. So I'm not sure whether Professor Simon is here. So we actually have a research center for konjac. Oh, is it on yet? On now? Okay, so yeah, and later on we will invite Dr. Shalida to come to the research center and also discuss with Professor Simon about what we do here. Nice.
Okay,
so this is
right.
the. So yeah, okay. We can go back to the first slide actually. So we will have Professor Shalida present her work on konjac. Okay,
Right.
Time is yours, Professor Shalida.
Okay.
Sorry for the technical
Thank you very
issue.
much. Okay. Right, sorry about the delays. I think the chairperson has introduced myself. So I'm from Department of Food Technology, Faculty of Science in Chulalongkorn University in Thailand. I don't think I need to further introduce what I'm doing because the chairperson already introduced to keep the time sufficient for me to introduce or share some of my work with you on this plant, konjac. This is the picture of the tree. It's actually a kind like tubers underground. So this is the tuber as you can see, and then it's, the green thing is above the ground. And the variety that is at the base, that means it contains a lot of glucomanans, is the one that have some seed, what we call bulbil, on the leaf or along the stem. So this is murari, where you call borang in here. And we can find konjac all over the world. Some of them is some kind like ornamentals, cannot be edibles, but some of them we can use for food consumptions. They found a lot also in China, India, and in South Middle East, and especially in the Southeast Asia, in Thailand, Myanmar, and Indonesia, is the species that we found that has a good quality compared to the species that found in China. And as you can see, there are more than 100 species of konjac in the world. So it's in the in the family of the Amorphophorus. There's many names of like Amorphophorus konjac, Amorphophorus murray, Amorphophorus titanum. I'm not sure how you can see it in the picture, but there is one picture on the far right, if it's far left, sorry, a flower with one lady sitting on the flower. You can see how big is the flower of one species of this konjac, Amorphophorus titanum. And I'm very glad that this species is also in Bogor Botanical Garden. If you have a chance to visit, I'm not sure they still keep it or not, but it's bloomed every 4 years. The diameter of the flower may be about 2 meters. So this is how variety of konjac. And the things that we use for the index to test its quality is glucomannan content, which is dietary fiber, as I explained before. So there are classified into 3 groups, the high, the medium, and the low. We only accounted for the high. The high one would have glucomannan up to about 70%. Murari is one of the species that have high glucomannan content. This is the Murari picture. So in the tuber, they have a yellow or orange or creamy, fresh. It depends on the soils and the conditions of the soil where they grow or where you found contract. The flower is just like lily, but actually, unfortunately, they have very bad smell. So when the time that the flower comes, you should stay away from that because it smells like carcass. The important ingredients or components in contract tuber is glucomannan. Glucomannan is a linear random copolymer of the mannose and glucose linked together. And this polymer has tremendous properties. So it's high molecular weight polysaccharide and is water soluble because it have hydrophilic dietary fibers. It's organic solvent insoluble. It's precipitated in ethanol, high viscosity and gel formation when it's combined with the alkali compounds. And actually, it can be combined with other polysaccharide as well to form gelling substance. And film formation is one of the things that we can use this property for packaging, edible packaging or biodegradable packaging. And because of these properties, we can use contract glucomannan in various areas. For example, you can use with the thermo-irreversible gelling dietary fiber source, water holding capacity, or in food industry, very much in thickening agent, emulsifying, stabilizing, and also film forming, texture improvement. With various products, as you can see in the applications, and then the dosage that we use is actually not much because contract glucomannan is water lover. They can be absorb water more than 200 times of its weight. So you use a little bit, just 1%, then you can form a small gel, high viscosity of your solution already. So that's why it's become, interest for the food industry, in the noodles or gelling or even drinking, making yogurt stabilizer or fat replacements or sausages, something like that. But we have to be careful because it have a thing that we call oxalate present in the powders, which that make things when it's combined to magnesium or calcium in your system, and then deposit in the kidney become the calcium oxalate or calcium oxalate or magnesium oxalate stone. So this is very bad when it deposits in your kidney and then you have the problems. So that's why the processing of contract glucomannan is combination between dry process. When you obtain the dry chips and powders, you should refine it with the solvent by ethanol to give the purifications and then purify contract powders. But now the technology has improved. I think a lot of research that has been done here had improved the process to do the dry processing and then reduce the oxalate content to the safe levels. Now you know about contract and then you see the overall pictures. So I like to introduce you a little bit on to the functional food products. So the trend of the food in the new industrial evaluation, as you can see, is more like personalized food, tailor-made food for each individual, for each group, for example, adult, young people. Now we approaching aging society, so there are a lot of research done for aging food, for aged people's food, elderly food, for example. Local to global is one that the world is looking for something original and then bring into the global context. Health promoted products or even more convenience or service innovations as well as environmental care now is very important. So that's why it's brought to the functional food concept that, functional food is some things that have the benefit beyond its nutritional value. Somehow, can you press? I think it's maybe stuck. Functional food is the food that have the benefit beyond its nutritional value. So if have some third or fourth ingredients that have the potential of reducing the risk of the health, more like a disease, or well, to promote your strongs of the healthy systems. But another term that I like to introduce is food function. Well, actually, it's similar words, right? Functional food, food function. Food function is the food ingredients that help to make function in that particular food in terms of physicals, chemicals, or biological function for that particular food to stabilize the food itself, to make it be able to accommodate the functional food. I think it's go beyond. Okay. Sorry, I have to turn to. And okay, so this coming clearly in focus. I think you can see it like functional food is, as I mentioned, food that offer the health benefit beyond their nutritional values. But food function, where I like to emphasize food that exhibit the chemical or physical functions, help to stabilize the value of functional food. And this is where PORANG or conjugate glucomanans come in. So in my research, we work a lot on this. First thing is the where that we try to produce the powders that have the functional properties. When you make powder, of course, you have to go to the drying process. While drying process, you have to employ heat. There are many kinds of dryers. And this, we would like to compare classical dryer, hot air dryer, with multi-state hot air, and use technology like fish dryings or microwave dryings to make dry conjugate powder. And what we see that when we use microwave, we can increase the viscosity of the powder, which is one of the most important things for PORANG powders. With microwave, the viscosity increased more than 2 or 3 times compared to normal drying process. This is because of microwave enhance the porous in microstructures of glucomanans particles. So what happens when it have more porosity? That means when it go into the water, it absorbs the water very quick. That means it's dissolved quickly, and then it's become gel easily with the high viscosity. So if you have this idea of creating a function of the particles, the powders, if their structure have porous and have a mechanism that can draw water inside itself quickly, that means it can it can help in the solubility or dissolving of other ingredients that it come with very, quickly as well. So, bear in mind about one of the structures, and then it have the property of film forming, as I mentioned before. Therefore, this can use like a mini entrapment, so we can incorporate something in the film to make the film functional film, extend the shelf life of food. I give you some example in these slides. We use it incorporate with some of the plant extracts that we know it has some kind of antimicrobials, anti-molds. We use that with the mango and then coat it on the mango and found that it can extend the shelf life of mango from 7 days to almost 3 weeks. And also uses coating the bread, and then found that it also can preserve the softness of the bread. But actually, the one that we use for coating the bread, we incorporated with the probiotic as well. So we found the probiotic can survive on the surface of the bread under the coating of konjac glucomannan film. And that means you eat the bread, with the, softer bread, not selling, but it's also contain probiotics as well. And so the coating is not only applied for the mango. I also done some works on Java apple. I think you know. I don't know here it's called champu, right? So we coat on the Java apple, and then we found that it's also increased the time for maintain the freshness of the Java apple when we storage at 13 degrees Celsius from 5 days to 15 days. So you see the film give a function of protection to maintain the goodness of the food products. Therefore, food function perhaps come to, I think when you do the research, if you think of this term, instead of adding ingredient to make functional food, but we try to make the food ingredient itself to have function to protect the food and also stabilize other ingredient in the food that would give you, a lot of benefits. Also, we also work in the milk. We use konjac glucomannan to encapsulate curcumin from one of the yellow tubers, and then encapsulate and then stabilize into the milk. And when we found that it can retain the curcumin into digestive system, we make it in vitro testing, with in vitro digestion, and we found that there are some curcumin that left and then can be pass from the stomach to the small intestine and then to the large intestine. Thank you very much, the team. Very supportive. I think they are under the pressure. So at the moment, so this is the ones that we work on the milk. We put the curcumins encapsulated with konjac. So you can see the orange line on the top, where at only about 0.1% of konjac solution can stabilize the curcumins and then make it stay for a long time. Also, we work with fish oil. We would like to increase omega-3 in milk. So fish oil incorporated with konjac solution and then put in milk. And we found that under the, we go this one under the high pressure processing, non-thermal processing. So without using konjac, if you don't see the orange bar, that means they're already gone. So they're already separate between the oil phase and the milk phase. So without adding konjac, go under the pressure. So it have a short shelf life, only 7 days. But the one with konjac glucomannan, it can stay up to about 14 days without spoilage. And after being treated with HPP, and the hydroperoxide values is quite low, below, in this one it's below 2, that means quite low. Usually when you detect it, it have to be about 10. And also the TBA also low as well, under the control with the konjac glucomannan. So this is stabilize the system of milks. And this one is microcapsule that we encapsulate and then we go under the spray dryings. We compare with other famous one that you use a lot, like maltodextrin. Yes, of course, maltodextrin maybe give high yield and bioaccessibility compared to the treatment with konjac, which is on the third bar.
Professor Sharita, 3 minutes.
Yeah, on the third bar. And as you can see, we found a lot of the extracts on the surface of maltodextrin. That means in the long run for the storage, this is not good. If it not encapsulate inside, is on the surface, so it will be have a chance to get oxidized by the oxygen and then gone very quick compared to the rest. It's under the contact glucomannan coating is actually inside the capsule. So another study also similar thing, but this one used the phenolics extract from plant. So we encapped it, and we found that with the treatment with contact glucomannan, it can retain the antioxidant activity very well. And when this is a picture of the powder. When we test it in vitro human digestion, and we also found that the coating can retain important substance. This is 3,5-diCQA extract until the intestine phase. Only the treatment with KGM, with contact glucomannan, that do that. And this is maybe interesting for some of you that work on microbiology or probiotics. So it has the prebiotic activity against so many probiotics compared to inulin, compared to oligosaccharides or fructooligosaccharides. The yellow highlight is where KGM, or even I do the hydrolysis of KGMs and then found that a lot of probiotics actually use KGM as prebiotics. So this is, you can make it symbiotic by combine KGM powder with probiotics and then make food, for example, jelly or drinks or even noodles with probiotics. So food functions, maybe I put a mark in your mind or your heart that if you consider some of the biological ingredients, local ingredients, it could have the function that stabilize food in many ways, encapsulated or entrapment or prebiotics properties that can create functional food. So I like to end this with this picture. Next, please. It's a picture of a pyramid of value adding, where you have konjac powder, dry konjac primary processing as the base, and then you make a purification. You got the glucomannan konjac. Then you make food products. Then when you know that it has the stabilizing properties and functions, then functional food, drinking konjac, or even do coating like film or prebiotics, because it have a prebiotic activities, then you can use for medical applications and high value as cosmetics when it make itself as the delivery vehicle for delivery some important compounds or extract into specific organ inside your bodies, like skin or other organs. So there are a lot of things that you can work with Borang, and then in the term of sustainability, and it's green because we don't use any high chemicals for the extraction or the process. So that I would like to acknowledge various organizations for funding this project, including Chulalongkorn University. And I invite you to have a look on this book. It's the book that I has edited with my supervisor, Professor George Chetitsky from University of New South Wales in Australia. It's about konjac glucomannan production, processing, and functional applications. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please give a round of applause to Professor Shalita. Okay, we apologize for the technical problems that occurred during her talk. Now we will have a Q&A session, but in the interest of time, because we have very limited time left, around 10 minutes, I open 3 questions from the audience. We have one from the center, from the left wing, or from the right wing. One from the left wing. Okay. Okay. We will open 2 questions first. From Dr. Johnny Kusnadi.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Johnny Kusnadi, and I have a question about to Professor Ngoh and Professor Salida. My first question related to the treatment of cellulosic substances. Actually, this is a quite stable substance, and your presentation actually is quite interesting because there is a treatment how to make the cellulosic substance become easy to be converted into more valuable. But the question is the converting cellulosic substance commercially possible? Or in your case, for example, Professor Ngo, your case is quite significant impact, yeah? So the commercial production is possible. And my second question goes to Professor Salida, related to the conject processing. The problem in conject processing usually the concentration of calcium oxalate. Some of our friends here also have experimental work related how to reduce the calcium oxalate. And my question is, how high is the calcium oxalate is becomes safe for us? Is it possible for us to make it zero concentration for calcium oxalate? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Johnny. Professor Ngoh?
Yes, thank you very much for the very interesting question. This also, commercialization is the one area that we want to look into. As I said, whatever I present is some of the research findings. And I give one example. Yes, there's potential for commercialization, especially when we pre-treated something like sago waste, sago hampas. We actually, pre-treated using UAE, and we managed to synthesize bioplastics. In fact, we have, use it, tried on the market. Okay, the biodegradable plastics from starchy materials such as sago waste hampas. And of course, today I talk about the UAE and MAE. To a lot of people, if you use the assistive techniques, it's actually quite challenging, such as microwave. Yeah, you need a huge microwave to treat it. So we have been talking to a group of researchers from the electrical engineering department, also trying to build on larger scale a microwave chamber. So yeah, we hope that with more research exploration, we can successfully treated the lignocellulosic waste and getting out the products that we desire and commercialize them with proper purification processes. In fact, some of the researchers are also looking at the downstream processing, of the products that we pre-treated. Okay, so today I actually rushing through things very very fast. So anyone would like to ask to get some clarification, please by all means drop me an email, and we can provide more justification or clarification to help anyone in the same research areas. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ngoh, for the nice answer. We go on to the second question to Professor Chalida.
You hear me? Okay, that's good. Thank you for the questions. Actually, it's very important when you're concerned about oxalate contents in konjac powders, because it can, combine with calcium or magnesium in your body and then making calcium oxalate or magnesium oxalate a stone, which is very bad. Well, the only way to purify konjac flour to purify glucomannan is by using solvent, ethanol. Usually they use about 50%. So to wash the starch, because glucomannan not dissolved in ethanol, so it's precipitate, and it will wash all these oxalate out. So, but another technology, but still some oxalate left in the powders by you have to use the separation techniques, separation technology to refine the powder because all the starch and oxalate lighter than the konjac. So, however, other vegetables also contain oxalate as well, but we didn't aware of that. For example, spinach, also kales, or some tips of the some shoot of the vegetables. So the safe limit for oxalate, it should not exceed, I think, 0.1 milligram per kilogram of body weight. So you can calculate like how much you weight and then time that, and then you can know the limit of consuming oxalate per day.
Okay. Does that satisfy your question? Okay, thank you, Dr. Johnny. So we will move to the second audience that will ask the question, please. Yes. Oh, the mic, please. Yeah. Please introduce yourself and.
Okay, thank you so much for both keynote speakers for the amazing presentation. I'm Ilmi Fadila Rizky from Indonesian Oil Palm Research Institute in Medan. I have more interested in Prof. Ngoh because we actually have this research also, but we want to extract phytonutrient of the palm oil. I have 3 questions here. First is, we know that this has a limitation that is high viscosity. So I would like to ask to Prof. Ngoh, is there any you do in your research to reduce this viscosity for extraction, as we know that if the solvent is too viscous, it cannot extract the compound well. This is the first question. And the second question is, how about the recovery of the DES? As we know that DES can be used more for extraction, so what you do in your research for the recovery of DES? And the last one is, my opinion, my question, is it possible if DES used in industrial scale? And for your research, is it do in laboratory scale or bench scale, or it's up to until the production scale? That's my questions for Prof. Ngoh.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad that at least my presentation attracts some, attention from the audience. Yeah, thank you very much for the ladies' questions. Yeah, talking about viscosity, indeed, when we apply DS for the, to the EFP, we realize that yes, viscosity is the main concern. So we actually try on to add water, to the DS. Okay, and we also find that it doesn't have to add too much. Around, for UAE, we only need to add on about 4%. For MAE, is less than 10%. That will help the mass transfer, okay, to reduce viscosity substantially. And also, we noticed that part of the reason why lactic acid perform much better because due to the viscosities as well. Okay, all right. Now, second question is the recycle. Yeah, DS, as I mentioned, the DS and the lignin extracted is all in the liquid phase. So we have actually successfully recovered the lignin, okay, by filtration and filter out the solid recovered, mainly the glucan and then the xylene and the lignin will stay in the liquid phase plus the DS. So subsequently, we filtered and centrifuge it out. We get the lignin and also DS. We have tried on again the DS that recover from that. We have, tried it on another, pretreatment. It seems that the efficiency also not so bad. So that definitely recycling of DS is one that we can save a lot of money. Like what we did on the ionic liquid. Ionic liquid, in fact, we used the liquid biphasic, and we successfully recover ionic liquid from our SCB pretreatment, and that saved a lot of energy and a lot of cost as well. We managed to reuse it for 4 times with the efficiency managed maintained and 80% and above. That's something quite promising results that we have obtained. And the third question is very similar to the question asked by the gentleman earlier on, talking about can it be commercialized? Yeah, this is actually the ultimate aim that we are looking at. Okay, extract the active component out from the EFP and using UAE and MAE. In fact, just to share with all, I currently have a staff from Universitas Brawijaya working under me and in our research group are using the PF, the pulse electric fuse as well. And this pulse electric fuse actually has this very similar mechanism like the UAE. It actually breaks the cell tissues from outside and then in taking out the active component from outside. And all this, we realize that it can be, scaled up. Okay, as I address the problem of MAE, the microwave, we have already worked with a group of electrical engineers on scale it up. Okay, and also we are looking at other, assistive heating methods as well, like such as PF, perhaps to increase the production scale. Okay, hopefully we can reach pilot scale and very soon. All right, we are looking for collaborators from the industries as well. Okay, if we can get good collaborators, we look into the essential areas. I'm very confident that we can reach a commercialization stage very soon. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ngoh. Because of the time limit, we have to end the session. Please join me in thanking Professor Ngoh and Professor Shalida for their great presentation. And I will give the floor back to the MC. Thank you. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the wonderful session and discussion. Now our Dean would like to give token of appreciation to keynote speakers. Please, Professor Chaliha, to come forward and we will take pictures too. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an extraordinary start to our plenary session 1. We have just had the privilege of listening to two incredible speeches that have undoubtedly enriched our understanding and ignite our inspiration. The insight of discussions were both thought-provoking and inspiring. Now, to give everyone a chance to refresh, recharge, and engage in valuable networking, we are going to take a short break for about 25 minutes.
During the break, we encourage you to engage with your fellow participants, exchange ideas, and expand your network. The connections you make here are often just as valuable as the content presented on stage. So take this moment to enjoy a brief respite, but be sure to return promptly for the next exciting part of our event. Thank you for your active participation and enthusiasm forward.
Brawijaya University is a favorite campus in Indonesia. The students come from various regions in Indonesia as well as from abroad. Brawijaya University was foundation of Malang High School in 1963. Located in the center of Malang City, which is famous for fresh and cool air, Brawijaya University has created a great environment with well-maintained, special, and supported by quality teachers from Brawijaya University and out of Brawijaya University, making Brawijaya University as a comfortable and conducive campus.
Universitas Brawijaya has vision to be a pioneering and innovative university with international reputations of science and technology advancements that form the basis of culture-based industries for communities' welfare. Universitas Brawijaya mission are: first, provide graduates with international standard education that instill in them belief in Almighty God and religious piety, noble character, self-reliance, professionalism, and entrepreneurial spirit. Second, play the role of university as an agent of renewal, pioneers and disseminator of science, technology, art, and humanities, as well as force of the nation economic development based on the value of noble local wisdom. And third, implement superior, equitable, and sustainable higher education governance.
Currently, Brawijaya University is one of the excellent universities in Indonesia, with more than 60,000 students in various degrees, starting from 6 programs for the 3-year diploma and 2 programs for the 4-year diploma. Brawijaya University also has 9 professional programs and 18 medical specialist programs. Those are supported by more than 140 teachers and 400 research lecturers who experience teaching and researching in various fields, technology, science, and humanities. Brawijaya University is ready to develop quality and international standard education process to produce graduates with international competitiveness. Brawijaya University, as the embodiment of commitment, as world-class entrepreneurial university, various facilities, infrastructure, and various vehicles in various student activities are provided to ensure the creating of participants and excellent students. Many graduates of Brawijaya University currently occupy important positions and contribute to Indonesian's or international level. Brawijaya University always promotes students' grade and quality to continue to achievements, compete and develop talent interests. In global competitions, not only academic but also non-academic fields is the same priority to increase achievement of Brawijaya University students. Involving in social life in a campus will create a good and whole university experience. Other than that, social engagement will help increase available skills and develop some of soft skills that are maximums: interpersonal relationships, communications, public speaking, and time management. Brawijaya University provides facilities to improve the quality of academic facilities. Among these are academic facilities, the library, Laboratory for Biological Sciences and Food Sciences (LSIH), Central Laboratory of Science and Engineering (LSSR), Institute of Research and Community Services Brawijaya University (LPPM), Institute for Educational Development and Quality Assurance (LPPPM), PJM, International Office, Bioscience Institute, UB Media and Communication Group, UB Press, Integrated Laboratory, UB Forest, Agrotechnopark, Center for Disability Studies and Services, Interest and Talent Facilities, Student Activity Units, Pertamina Sport Arena, Sport Clubhouse Pertamina UB, Samanta Krida Hall, Widya Loka Hall, football field and other sport facilities at Dieng campus. Supporting facilities, UB bus fleet, student dormitory, employee cooperative KPRI, international students dormitory, bank and ATM center, post office, Masjid Raden Patah, compost processing facilities, halal canteen, alumni facilities. They are Alumni Association System, Career Entrepreneurship Development Unit of Universitas Brawijaya, Business Incubator, Information Technology and Computers Facilities. They are Academic Information System, Registration and Selection for Students Information System, New Student Admissions Information System Online, an Integrated Service Information System Portal, Student Academic Information System, Decision Support System, Research and Community Service Information System, Bandwidth Internet Capacity, Safety and Health Facilities. They are Firefighting and Rescue, Ambulance, Health Clinic, UB Hospital, E-Counseling UB or counseling.ub.ac.id. Universitas Brawijaya as an inclusive excellence campus based on international educations continues to improve the quality of services. Universitas Brawijaya as a leading university with our international standards through the process of educations, research, and service to the community are going to increase the achievements and to improve the innovations. With pride and confidence, Universitas Brawijaya will continue to improve its quality both at the national and international levels, building up the noble future.
Agricultural technology is a branch of science focusing on the processing of agricultural resources using modern technology for the improvement of human welfare. To accomplish this, the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, was officially established in 1998.
Faculty of Agricultural Technology is one of the largest faculties in the field of agricultural technology in East Java, Indonesia. With 3 departments and 11 study programs, we offer you a remarkable opportunity to feed the world and to help the community through food science and environmental related technology and engineering. Faculty of Agricultural Technology is the first faculty in Brawijaya University in one of 14 faculties nationally that is selected to build zone of integrity. Being a well-known faculty in the field of agricultural technology at the international level and contributing to national development through 3 pillars of higher education is our vision. We encourage to conduct research and development in the agricultural technology field and create collaborations with other parts. Enhance the progress of the world's agro-industry. To achieve this, we provide the best facilities for our students.
The Faculty of Agricultural Technology has 125 lecturers, 15 professors, 76 doctors. They have a great reputation due to their extraordinary achievements on the national and international levels. The far-reaching reputation of the Faculty of Agricultural Technology lecturers is evidenced by their recent invites to speak and offer their valuable input. They have been trusted as keynote speakers and consultants for both government and private institutions. They have been reviewers of nationally and internationally reputable journals. They have also been keynote and invited speakers at national and international seminars and events. To attract students, the Faculty of Agricultural Technology promotes all of their study programs at several other universities at the national and international level. Teaching and learning activities are optimized using various innovative learning methods. Through the use of the integration system, Gapura Universitas Brawijaya, all information is easily accessible electronically by lecturers and students. To broaden students' international perspective and give the international experiences, The Faculty of Agricultural Technology gives lectures in the form of 3-in-1 program activities: a visiting professor program, international classes, double degrees, student exchange, distance learning, short course programs, international conferences, and joint research projects. To improve students' competency and insight into the application of their knowledge, Faculty of Agricultural Technology routinely brings in guest lecturers from industry and provides training and certifications. We continue to develop a high standard for research and education facilities, as well as establish relationships with alumni, partners, and stakeholders. Our faculty and staff are also dedicated to bringing students a high-quality education by providing state-of-the-art teaching and research. Through talking about and encouraging student participation in research and in community service with their lecturers, Faculty of Agricultural Technology helps to improve the critical thinking, teamwork, and communication skills of their students. The Faculty of Agricultural Technology will always provide the best quality of education and commit to producing high-quality graduates. With our motto, "Do the best towards perfection," the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, is ready to strengthen the agricultural technology of Indonesia.
Brawijaya University is a favorite campus in Indonesia. The students come from various regions in Indonesia as well as from abroad. Brawijaya University was foundation of Malang High School in 1963. Located in the center of Malang City, which is famous for fresh and cool air, Brawijaya University has created a great environment with well-maintained, special, and supported by quality teachers from Brawijaya University and out of Brawijaya University, making Brawijaya University as a comfortable and conducive campus.
Universitas Brawijaya has vision to be a pioneering and innovative university with international reputations of science and technology advancements that form the basis of culture-based industries for communities' welfare. Universitas Brawijaya mission are: first, provide graduates with international standard education that instill in them belief in Almighty God and religious piety, noble character, self-reliance, professionalism, and entrepreneurial spirit. Second, play the role of university as an agent of renewal, pioneers, and disseminator of science, technology, art, and humanities, as well as force of the nation economic development based on the value of noble local wisdom. And third, implement superior, equitable, and sustainable higher education governance.
Currently, Brawijaya University is one of the excellent universities in Indonesia, with more than 60,000 students in various degrees, starting from 6 programs for the 3-year diploma and 2 programs for the 4-year diploma. Brawijaya University also has 9 professional programs and 18 medical specialist programs, Those are supported by more than 140 teachers and 400 research lecturers who experience teaching and researching in various fields, technology, science, and humanities. Brawijaya University is ready to develop quality and international standard education process to produce graduates with international competitiveness. Brawijaya University, as the embodiment of commitment, as world-class entrepreneurial university, various facilities, infrastructure, and various vehicles in various student activities are provided to ensure the creating of participants and excellent students. Many graduates of Brawijaya University currently occupy important positions and contribute to Indonesian's or international level. Brawijaya University always promotes students' grade and quality to continue to achievements, compete and develop talent interests. In global competitions, not only academic, but also non-academic field is the same priority to increase achievement of Brawijaya University students. Involving in social life in a campus will create a good and whole university experience. Other than that, social engagement will help increase available skills and develop some of soft skills that are maximums, interpersonal relationships, communications, public speaking, and time management. Brawijaya University provides facilities to improve the quality of academic facilities. Among these are academic facilities, the library, Laboratory for Biological Sciences and Food Sciences (LSIH), Central Laboratory of Science and Engineering (LSSR), Institute of Research and Community Services Brawijaya University (LPPM), Institute for Educational Development and Quality Assurance (LPPPM), PJM, International Office, Biosense Institute, UB Media and Communication Group, UB Press, Integrated Laboratory, UB Forest, Agrotechnopark, Center for Disability Studies and Services, Interest and Talent Facilities, Student Activity Units, Pertamina Sport Arena, Sport Clubhouse Pertamina UB, Samanta Krida Hall, Widya Loka Hall, football field and other sport facilities at Dieng campus. Supporting facilities, UB bus fleet, student dormitory, employee cooperative KPRI, international students dormitory, bank and ATM center, post office, Masjid Raden Patah, compost processing facilities, halal canteen, alumni facilities. They are Alumni Association System, Career Entrepreneurship Development Unit of Universitas Brawijaya, Business Incubator, Information Technology and Computers Facilities. They are Academic Information System, registration and selection for students' information system, new student admissions information system online, an integrated service information system portal, student academic information system, decision support system, research and community service information system, bandwidth internet capacity, safety and health facilities. They are firefighting and rescue, ambulance, health clinic, UB hospital, e-counseling UB, or counseling.ub.ac.id. Universitas Brawijaya as an inclusive excellence campus based on international educations continues to improve the quality of services. Universitas Brawijaya as a leading university with our international standards through the process of educations, research, and service to the community are going to increase the achievements and to improve the innovations. With pride and confidence, Universitas Brawijaya will continue to improve its quality both at the national and international levels, building up the noble future.
Agricultural technology is a branch of science focusing on the processing of agricultural resources using modern technology for the improvement of human welfare. To accomplish this, the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, was officially established in 1998.
Faculty of Agricultural Technology is one of the largest faculties in the field of agricultural technology in East Java, Indonesia. With 3 departments and 11 study programs, we offer you a remarkable opportunity to feed the world and to help the community through food science and environmental related technology and engineering. Faculty of Agricultural Technology is the first faculty in Brawijaya University in one of 14 faculties nationally that is selected to build zone of integrity. Being a well-known faculty in the field of agricultural technology at the international level and contributing to national development through 3 pillars of higher education is our vision. We encourage to conduct research and development in the agricultural technology field and create collaborations with other parts. Enhance the progress of the world's agro-industry. To achieve this, we provide the best facilities for our students.
The Faculty of Agricultural Technology has 125 lecturers, 15 professors, 76 doctors. They have a great reputation due to their extraordinary achievements on the national and international levels. The far-reaching reputation of the Faculty of Agricultural Technology lecturers is evidenced by their recent invites to speak and offer their valuable input. They have been trusted as keynote speakers and consultants for both government and private institutions. They have been reviewers of nationally and internationally reputable journals. They have also been keynote and invited speakers at national and international seminars and events. To attract students, the Faculty of Agricultural Technology promotes all of their study programs at several other universities at the national and international level. Teaching and learning activities are optimized using various innovative learning methods. Through the use of the integration system, Gapura Universitas Brawijaya, all information is easily accessible electronically by lecturers and students. To broaden students' international perspective and give the international experiences, the Faculty of Agricultural Technology gives lectures in the form of 3-in-1 program activities: a visiting professor program, international classes, double degrees, student exchange, distance learning, short course programs, international conferences, and joint research projects. To improve students' competency and insight into the application of their knowledge, Faculty of Agricultural Technology routinely brings in guest lecturers from industry and provides training and certifications. We continue to develop a high standard for research and education facilities, as well as establish relationships with alumni, partners, and stakeholders. Our faculty and staff are also dedicated to bringing students a high-quality education by providing state-of-the-art teaching and research. Through talking about and encouraging student participation in research and in community service with their lecturers, Faculty of Agricultural Technology helps to improve the critical thinking, teamwork, and communication skills of their students. The Faculty of Agricultural Technology will always provide the best quality of education and commit to producing high-quality graduates. With our motto, "Do the best towards perfection," the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, is ready to strengthen the agricultural technology of Indonesia.
Brawijaya University is a favorite campus in Indonesia. The students come from various regions in Indonesia as well as from abroad. Brawijaya University was foundation of Malang High School in 1963. Located in the center of Malang City, which is famous for fresh and cool air, Brawijaya University has created a great
Agricultural technology is a branch of science focusing on the processing of agricultural resources using modern technology for the improvement of human welfare. To accomplish this, the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, was officially established in 1998.
Faculty of Agricultural Technology is one of the largest faculties in the field of agricultural technology in East Java, Indonesia. With 3 departments and 11 study programs, we offer you a remarkable opportunity to feed the world and to help the community through food science and environmental related technology and engineering. Faculty of Agricultural Technology is the first faculty in Brawijaya University in one of 14 faculties nationally that is selected to build zone of integrity. Being a well-known faculty in the field of agricultural technology at the international level and contributing to national development through 3 pillars of higher education is our vision. We encourage to conduct research and development in the agricultural technology field and create collaborations with other parts. Enhance the progress of the world's agro-industry. To achieve this, we provide the best facilities for our students.
The Faculty of Agricultural Technology has 125 lecturers, 15 professors, 76 doctors. They have a great reputation due to their extraordinary achievements on the national and international levels.
Break. I hope you had a refreshing break and enjoyed the opportunity to network and recharge. We are about to dive into another enlightening segment of our event, Plenary Session 2. So please take your seats and let's continue the journey of knowledge and discovery. This session promises to be just as engaging as the previous one. We have a fantastic lineup of speakers and a knowledgeable moderator ready to share insights. Their expertise and unique perspectives will surely leave you informed and inspired.
Without further ado, allow me to introduce our esteemed moderator that will lead this plenary session 2, Mr. Wahyunanto Agung Nugroho, PhD, and Ms. Dr. Rerum Natalium Technicarum Eloquaziro as note-taker, also distinguished speaker for this session, Professor Yozo Noguchi of Kyoto University, Japan. As the third keynote speaker, Professor Yusuf Wibisono, PhD of Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia, as the fourth keynote speaker. Professor Yanis Yoropoulos of the University of Southampton, UK, as the fifth keynote speaker. Each of them bring a wealth of experience and knowledge to this session. So without any more delay, let's begin plenary session 2 and welcome our moderator, note-taker, and speakers to the podium.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I hope you are all very well today. And this is our second session for this international conference. And before we start, I'd like to invite all the speakers, Professor Janis and Professor Yusuf, to come on stage to have a seat next to me. Would you come here? All right, so for this session, we will have 3 amazing speakers. The first speaker is Professor Noguchi. He cannot attend the session offline, so he will attend the session online, directly from Japan. And for the 2 other speakers, Professor Yusuf Ibisono and Professor Yanis Yoropoulos, will directly give the talk from this auditorium. Before I start, I need to introduce you with these three amazing speakers. Wait a moment. For the first speaker, here's Professor Ryozo Noguchi, if I'm not mistaken. Ryozo Noguchi, he is a professor in Kyoto University, and his research interest is concentrated on biomass energy, agricultural machinery and power, oil separation and recycling system. He has very great life's philosophy and mission, which is to extract and solve the technical problem, sustainable solution, especially for rural areas, without neglecting the ethical issues of food and bioresource. The topic he will be delivering today is analysis and environmental impact assessment for food production and biological resource utilization. That's the first speaker, and he will deliver the talk online directly from Japan. For the second speaker, here's Professor Yusuf Wibisono. He sits next to me. Professor Yusuf Wibisono is from Bioprocess Engineering, and he is the chairman for the Sustainable Bioproducts Brawijaya University. And his research interest is mostly in membrane materials and processes, but it's not limited to that membrane processing, membrane material and processes, as well as the development of biomaterial. For the topics he will be delivering today is trash to cash, bio-waste conversion into valuable bioceramic materials. For the third speakers, Professor Yannis Eropoulos, a very Greek name, isn't it? All right. But he's from the UK, from the University of Southampton. He's a chairman of environmental engineering, the University of Southampton, the UK. He's the chair in environmental engineering and head of the water and environmental engineering group at the University of Southampton. He is actually an electronics engineer, graduated from Bristol University, if I'm not mistaken, and specialties in self-sustainable system and robots. The research expertise here is in focus on waste utilization and energy autonomy, and produce the Icgab family of robots and P-Power, powered by microbial fuel cells fed on organic or human waste. It sounds like a science fiction movie, which is like converting human urine into electricity. Is that correct? Yep, that's things. And the topic he will be delivering today is the bioenergy resources from wastewater treatment using bioelectrochemical system. That's the three amazing speakers that we will have today in this session. To make the long story short, I want to start with the first speaker, Professor Noguchi. Are you okay? Are you ready? Professor Noguchi?
Hi.
Can we start the talk now?
Can you hear me?
All right, yeah. Professor Noguchi from Kyoto University will deliver a topics about analysis and environmental impact assessment for food production and biological resource utilization. Professor Noguchi, you have about 20 minutes to have the talk. Can we start now?
Okay, thank you very much for introducing me, Dr. Vahwant Agant Nugroho, and all the participants and the organizing committee. Thank you very much for inviting me to the very unique and very excellent international conference on green agro-industry bioeconomy, Icgab 2023. So it's my pleasure to present my research and some topics here. So I'd like to share my PowerPoint slide and to explain according to the slides. Can you see my slides and voice is clear? Is it okay?
Yeah, it is okay, yeah. We can see that.
Okay. Okay, my today's title is System Analysis and Environmental Impact Assessment for the Food Production and Biological Resource Utilization. Today, so I'd like to explain my philosophy for our research, and also I'd like to introduce some research topics. And if you interest some of the keywords in my presentation, it's my pleasure. I'm belonging to the Kyoto University from last April. Before the Kyoto University, I was working in University of Tsukuba. So this is my research topics, and first one is the conversion and biorefinery for organic waste into the resource and energy. And the other one is the system design for bioresource utilization and society. Is it okay?
Yeah. Just keep going.
Some echo. Are you okay?
Yeah, there is some echo. Probably you can fix it.
I cannot hear clearly, so because there's so many echo.
Yeah, I saw any echo as well. Can anyone fix the problem?
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay.
Carry on.
I continued it. And these topics are main research so far. And recently, I also have an additional research theme, Smart Agriculture Chemical Spraying Technology for the orchard field. Because I'm now belonging to the agriculture engineering field, so now I'm running in the both research topics in my laboratory. Today, I'd like to focus on biomass utilization and its system analysis and life cycle assessment. And this is my abstract for today's presentation. I cannot read all this contents. However, I'd like to pick on some important points. Because there are many development and progress in all the world. However, almost developed countries turning to their concept to the different directions. So it means we call it a Venus system, the cleaning and recycling system. And we also consider we have to consider the viewpoint of engineering ethics. So after the developing or the providing the good quality of the product, agriculture, food, and so on, we have to consider the consumer from the engineering ethics. I think it is very important point. Today I'd like to mention about it. What in a Venus system? So this is just the figure of the yang and yin structure in one picture. In the developing stage of the country, we have to consider the upper side, the keywords, free from heavy labor in the farming mechanization, modern agriculture, and prioritize efficiency production and economic conservation over environment preservation. And these kind of the keywords changing slowly from yang to yin, from RTR system and the Venus system. So the main keywords in Venus system is the participation of non-farmers and citizens in agriculture. Attention to the food and the quality of life, slow food, decentralized and network type society, renewable energy, intergenerational ethics, environmental ethics, natural farming. And this is also including sustainable agriculture. I think we have to consider what kind of the technology is required in the stage in the yang and yin, and of the half of the world to the existing on the yang world, and the other field is the other country are existing in the Venus system in areas. So you can, as you know, so there are many type of the population. And also China and India, increasing their population largely. And this is the shape of the population pyramid. You can understand that totally different. India and China is different. And world like this one. It means so that world and India are increasing their economy and the level of the lifestyle is increasing in near future. And the other China and the other in Japan, so the shape is different. So totally, so the young generation is decreasing. It means so we have to consider the other direction of the technology and economic style. And Indonesia, your shape is very close to the world and all the India. We can expect you are growing, your countries, but after the 30 years, 40 years, maybe your country will be changed to the shape of the pyramids close to Japan and China. At that time, so we have to consider the more eagerly to attain sustainable agriculture, sustainable environments, production, and so on. Okay, so that is the most important point that today my presentations. And I'd like to introduce some of the research topics, such kind of the viewpoint. The first one is so that I have many PhD students from Indonesia. I already grown up the 20 PhD students, but it includes the 10 PhD students from Indonesia. I visited many times Indonesia and very familiar your countries. And so my PhD student from the Indonesia tried to land exchange between peat and mineral land in Kalimantan. And you can see some of the pictures in the peatland areas. And this is one of the estimation, the simulation, how much we can save the total CO2 emission, the equivalent emissions after the land changing. The oil palm plantation in the peatland changed to the mineral soil area. This is one of the upperland areas. So finally, we can reduce around the 61% or the, how to say, the 65% after changing to the introducing the land exchange scenarios. So it means so the peatland had a lot of the potential to emit the CO carbon dioxide from their land. However, there are so many data. In one is 90 ton CO2 equivalent per hectare per year. One is 41.4 ton and 35 to 50 ton. So if we selected these data as one figure, the result will be changed dramatically. Okay, this is one of the scenario to the estimating how much the carbon dioxide is emitted from the palm oil to the fossil fuel to the electric generations. So we can compare the three types of the generation from the fossil fuel and palm oil. But so this result shows the palm oil generations is smaller than other coal generation and the petroleum and the CO2 emissions. It result totally depends on the peatland treatment. So which the data is selected, and finally, so result will be dramatically changed. It means so we more pay attention to the life cycle assessment, how to compare these three scenarios, petroleum generations and coal generation and palm oil generations. I think it is important role for the policymaker, so which kind of the biomass utilization which should be established in near future. And I also calculated some of the interesting points for the environment impact assessment of traditional food production system in Cambodia. Recently, total energy consumption and environment damage is increasing according to the increasing of the food production and the high quality of the food and so on. However, the traditional food, one of the solutions in decreasing such kind of the system. So now I'm trying to calculate how much we can reduce if we eat the traditional food in Cambodia, cooperated Cambodian student, and finally, so we can reduce the 28.9% reduction of total CO2 emissions. So it means we have to consider the basis on the traditional food. I think it's more environment friendly and so reduce the total CO2 emissions. And this is also one of the topic, the proposal and evaluation of sustainable food habits and food production in Japan. So recently, the soybean protein is very popular all over the world. So we also checked how much the CO2 can be reduced after changing the lifestyle from the meat-based and the plant-based. So we also check the nutrient-rich food index. It means what kind of the nutrients should be satisfied and what kind of the nutrients should be escaped to eat. We use this food index, nutrient-rich food index 11.3. So we also checked what kind of food should be expected in near future. And I also tried to find the rice husk combustion. I think rice husk is very useful biomass because it already collected after drying and it's very low moisture content. I think rice husk is a very big potential of the world. So the one African foreigner student tried to find how much the damage is occurred, health damage is occurred in a rural area in Nigeria. So we have to consider their rice husk combustion technology, reduce the gas emission and also the PM from the rice husk combustion. And finally, we have to introduce the smart combustion technologies. And I also tried to conduct an experiment using the rice husk. Rice husk can be taken, some of the energy can be taken from the rice husk. And also we can take the soluble silica from the rice husk after combustions. So however, the long time high temperature combustion and long time and high temperature, it did affect the crystallized silica from silica, which is included in the rice husk. It did affect the factor of the silicosis. So we control the combustion time and the temperature, also the providing airflow. Finally, we attain the maximum of the energy taking as the heat from the rice husk combustion and maximize the soluble silica after the rice husk charcoal. So now we are trying to the next stage to the development of the new rice husk combustion system cooperate with the private company. And we also consider such kind of the catalyst to decrease the CO and NOx and so on. And we also find that some of the good temperature, high temperature, it affects totally reduce the NOx and SOx and CO from the rice husk combustion. And the rice husk combustion also introduce us some of the recycling system of the material. We use the chemical silica, which was from the outside as industrial products. However, if we establish the successfully the rice
Professor Noguchi, sorry to remind you, you still have about 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, successfully we can establish a recycling system, and finally we can reduce the methane emission from the paddy rice field. Because after the mixing of the rice husk charcoal in the soil, the methanotrophic bacteria, which enhanced CO2 oxidation at the beginning, will be started. So it means after the combustion recycling system, we can take energy, also take a good material as a soluble silica, and finally we prevent the methane emission from the paddy rice field. Okay, so it's like a technology However, technology should be used for the finally for the consumers. It means so we have to have engineering ethics. And I also checked what kind of factor finally affect the important point for the engineering ethics. We now considering fossil fuel depletion, global warming due to the CO2 emission, and energy security. That is the most background to enhance the biomass utilization. However, if one of we have to check these background again and what kind of the factor is most important from the local side and consumer side, and considering what of the direction is suitable from the viewpoint of the engineering ethics. And recently, we have to consider the other viewpoint from the animal and the domestic animals. Soybean-based meat is also affected by the how to prevent the animal feeding, domestic animal feeding. It means so we have to enlarge our ethics target from the human to the how to say like other livings, and I think this kind of the expanding idea is a very important role for the agriculture engineering ethics. Okay, I'd like to show my goal finally at last. So that means there are so many biomass over the world, but the combustion system is not smart. So in my experience for the lighthouse combustion, if we can introduce the good air supply and the heat control and some of the catalysts of the for the exhaust gas, we can dramatically decrease and this kind of smoke in a kitchen side on the outside. And I also considering other new technology for the lighthouse combustion system. We control the air temperature and also the providing speed of the lighthouse. If we successfully develop this one, so I'd like to conduct the experiment again, and what kind of the parameter it will be suitable. So I'd like to find this kind of the research. And this is just the very famous technology and Back to the Future. And Steve Jobs, so considering 30 or 40 years ago, he already considered what kind of technology is suitable in the world. And it means we also we have to consider the future scenarios. This is one of the unique systems, wheeling and gasification and providing the gas to the inner combustion engine. This is the automatically autonomous vehicle, but also this how to say having the data from the field, and finally, so this is energy self-sufficient vehicle. I'd like to establish such kind of the vehicle in near future. Okay, I'd like to skip one. Okay, thank you very much for the listening. So that is my overview and my new concept in my research. Thank you very much for the listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Noguchi, for the great presentation. And for the participants, if probably you have any questions, please keep it for now, because we will have Q&A later in this section. For the next speaker, I want to invite Professor Yusuf Ibisono from Bioprocess Engineering, Brawijaya University, to give a talk. And the topic of his talk is about trash to cash, bio-waste conversion into valuable bioceramic materials. You can start now, Prof. Yusuf. And sorry, I need to keep the time very strictly, about 20 minutes. I will remind you 5 minutes, people. Okay, you can start now.
Okay, thank you very much for introduction. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I'm very happy to be here today, and I would like to share part of the research of our group. I'm coming from Bioprocess Engineering Department in the Faculty of Agricultural Technology, and part of our research is, I think, 3 speakers today actually also concerned about the reuse of waste. So I also want to talk about this one. Okay, thank you. So my presentation today entitled Trash to Cash, Bio-waste Conversion into Valuable and Sustainable Bioeconomic Materials. So actually, I will start with this problem, actually, with this slide. You see that actually we face today many problems. And we just talked during a break session with Prof. Yandis, also with Prof. Charida, that actually in our country, in Malang even, this dry season. We have already 6 months of dry without any rain. Just yesterday, actually, we have rain quite hard. So grateful to God that we have this one. And actually, this is time of we have to concern about the climate change. This is also the problem that you see in the slide. One of this problem that we face, and we have also many problems that the world today have to deal with. What's so called planetary boundaries. Yeah. We have this is a study from Rockstrom, 2006. They divided the Earth with 9 subsystems that we have to consider how to operate our life within a specific threshold. So if you run our daily life as usual, business as usual, maybe in the certain time you will have passed the threshold. And past the thresholds mean endanger our life and also our life of future generation. So this is very important that now in the circular economy, actually we have to change, we have to modify, we have to adjust what we have done, and then how we can direct, we can drive our life to become more sustainable, more sustainable. So what so-called bioeconomy actually refers to any activities, innovation, etc., that consider about generating sustainable economic, social, and also environmental development. So one of the aspects that we concern in bioeconomy, actually, we have to consider how the industrial application, for example, we can prepare some of development. In my group research, actually concerned about biomaterials development. So this is that I want to talk today. In Indonesia, we have abundance of marine bio-waste. Seafood industry in Indonesia is very, we can produce many seafood industry, and also we send to another country on this one. But still, the leftover of the production, we have many waste. We can call marine bio-waste. So how we think about utilizing this waste? So maybe people just put waste to become maybe feed, maybe to put another application, but now we should think maybe using bioconversion, using bioprocess, we can improve the production of or conversion of the bio-waste into valuable bioproduct. And we think that biomaterials may be one of the options. So I will focus on one of the product that we have in seafood industry. We have, for example, crab production. We have many crab meat production, canned and then sent to the other country. But the waste is also abundance. We can find everywhere, even in this province. In East Java province, we have many cities that they have production of the seafood, and then they have this marine bio-waste. This is the data from Indonesian Statistic Bureau that we have actually a lot of bio-waste that we can convert into valuable material. And one of the candidates that we can use actually the substance called hydroxyapatite. So this is actually quite challenging to convert, but maybe also quite interesting that we can get these materials because we can use to many applications. I will show you some of results that we have. So we think about this one, the biomaterials. This is the scheme that actually quite old. I capture from Science Journal 2006, that they provide a perspective on how we can use biomaterials, and then we have biomass, and then we produce and we convert in biorefinery, and then we can produce many products, biofuels, heat, electricity, including biomaterials. Biomaterials is quite good because when when we finish to use it, we can reuse. Yeah, we can reuse back to the refinery, and we can produce another product. Of course, when we talk about biomaterials, there are two perspectives. There are two views. First, biomaterials mean bioproducts. So every derived materials we can call biomaterials. Biomass, for example. But also, maybe in another field, for example, in medical field, biomaterials means any materials that you can use for replacing any human organs, for example. So application of medical treatment that involving materials, we can call also biomaterials. Both we can consider. We can use this definition. We can use the waste, and we can convert into valuable biomaterials. What we have done so far, for example, from the crab waste, we can have the crab cell. The crab cell is quite a lot. They have a high calcium phosphate content, and also protein, for example. And then we can convert into the hydroxyapatite. So the conversion actually is quite, you can choose many routes actually. But before I talk about the routes, it's very important to know that hydroxyapatite is quite interesting materials because this is nanomaterials, and then biocompatible. So you can use, for example, for application in the medical devices or for replacing the human organ, for example. And then it's non-toxic. Even some of the materials is so-called bioactive. So if, for example, you use these materials to grow the hard tissue or soft tissue, actually it's quite possible because it can also consider to use to grow the tissue, yeah, the tissue of a human, for example. So in this case, how we can convert? So the conversion method is, as I mentioned, you can choose many routes. This is actually the references that I capture from the literature. You have any calcium precursor, for example, from crab cell, maybe from scalp cells, from fish scale, for example. And then you add a phosphate precursor in this case, because hydroxyapatite actually combine between calcium and phosphate. The ratio, so the chemistry of the ratio should be 1.67 in this case. So the methods to convert, people normally use wet chemical precipitation, but we tried also to use, for example, salt gel method, etc. And then we can have different type of hydroxyapatite, either porous materials or maybe also the other type of calcium phosphate. Maybe you can find also beta-3 calcium phosphate, or maybe another type of calcium phosphate. But the most important one in this, our goal is to produce hydroxyapatite. So first you have the bio waste, for example, marine bio waste, and then you should use high temperature, of course, because many of the organic materials we should decompose in this high temperature. You can use furnace for a few hours and then put phosphate precursor, and then we can convert into hydroxyapatite. So this one actually the basic conversion to obtain the materials. This is just the step of the sample preparation. So of course you have to do raw material treatment and pre-treatment, etc. And then we have to reduce the size, of course. So if you want to produce nanomaterials, you have to also decrease the materials into nano size. For example, we have here development of ball mill. So we use ball mills to produce the nanoparticle of hydroxyapatite in this case. Okay, and then the synthesis. As I mentioned, we can put, for example, this one with chemical precipitation method. So in this case, it's very interesting because when you have calcium and phosphate together, and then you make a reaction in this case, you can get hydroxyapatite, and also the other side product is water. So this reaction is quite sustainable because you don't have any leftover except water and also hydroxyapatite, of course. So this case, now we have to do optimization, whether we try with different pH value, we try with different operating condition, temperature, etc. And we can get different type of materials. So some characterization that we have, for example, here, the component calcium phosphate is the most important one. You can get many of this with another type of raw materials, Excel, for example, also you can have. But as I mentioned, the goal is we can convert trash to become more valuable materials. Okay, I will not discuss more about this result, characterization one, just to show you that actually the result actually is quite close with one that commercially available in the market. So I think it's promising. I will just jump to the applied technology that we have. I will put one of the application that now we're developing is how to use this hydroxyapatite to become ceramic materials, especially to produce what's so-called the membrane. Actually, my field basically on membrane, so we think about how we can optimize the hydroxyapatite, and then we can combine with another technology, and we can produce the membrane. The membrane that we can we can obtain actually including in ultrafiltration, because the porous materials in the ultra size. So this is the SEM images that the result that we have from the hydroxyapatite, and then we did sintering in this case, and then it can combine, become more dense, and these materials we can improve. Even you can tune the pore size. For example, you want to use this membrane, for example, to apply to food processing, for example. I will show you also later. So the porosity actually you can make some improvement, whether you want to in specific size, or maybe you can decrease the size, etc. So this is the result that we did for different type of conversion. The one that I showed you before called co-precipitation, we did also with microwave-assisted sintering and also sol gel. Yeah, actually you can see this is the same images. The materials actually quite different. This is the same crab cells, and then we convert into hydroxyapatite with different method. Okay, so as I mentioned, we can use the membrane for food processing. Now we are doing how to use the membrane for example, juice clarification. We also have goal to use for separation of oligosaccharides from, for example, from milk, for example, is also possible.
Prof. Yusuf, you have about 5 more minutes.
Yeah, okay. And also now we are developing the technology how to use this membrane to use in medical treatment using this membrane in hemodialysis. because nowadays many people suffer with the kidney disease, and then using hemodialysis, you will use a lot of water, and this water you should reuse again, so we can use these materials because biocompatible we can use for hemodialysis application. But now still we are developing this technology. And the second one, I will talk very briefly about this one because of the time limited, about slow release fertilizer. We are in agricultural technology, so we apply this one to become absorber actually. So in this case, we can combine this hydroxyapatite with the traditional fertilizer, because if you use fertilizer extensively, you will face many problems, eutrophication, etc. So in this case, we developed this slow release fertilizer. We combine this hydroxyapatite. Now it stopped. I don't know how. So actually, I just continue my talk. So we combine this fertilizer using can absorb using the hydroxyapatite compound, and we apply to the plant in this case. Yeah. When you do this one, you will have slow and gradual release of the nitrogen. Because if you put a lot of fertilizer in the plantation, you will, in the few years, will get the soil you will destroy the soil composition, etc. So in this case, when you do the application, this one combined with the hydroxyapatite, you can release slowly. And we have this research, and then we try with several plants. We have tomatoes and then paprikas, etc. So we believe that actually this also promising, not only for the fertilizer itself, but also because the hydroxyapatite is contain phosphorus. So itself also, the hydroxyapatite itself also can use as the fertilizer. So this is very promising, and I think in the coming years also we can develop this one to use in the plantation. So we can not only for horticulture plant, but also we can use for another application. I cannot move the slide. So I think the idea, as I mentioned before, how we think about converting the trash to become cash. I mean, cash means you can have more valuable. You can improve the economic consideration of the product using the good materials, and then you can improve the application, any aspect of application for membrane and then also for fertilizer. I think this is that I can convey to you. We can discuss later about this one, and I'm happy to discuss with you all. Thank you. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Prof. Yusofi Personal, for the talk, for the great talk, which is about the tries to cast bio-waste conversion into valuable bioceramics. Before we move on to the next speaker, we want to make sure that the presentation will be okay without any problem. We want to fix the problem first, then I will let you for giving the talk, but we need to make sure that it's already fixed. Is it okay? Pak Eka, is it okay to start the talk now? All right? Yeah. So Professor Giannis Eropoulos, he is a chairman of Environmental Engineering University of Southampton, and for this talk, he will be giving a talk about bioenergy recovery. So bioenergy recovery from wastewater treatment using bioelectrochemical system. Please, you can start the talk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the introduction. Salam alaikum. Good morning. So I'll skip the introductions. Today I'll be mostly talking about these bioelectrochemical systems or microbial fuel cells which we have been developing for a good 20 years. And you'll see the development, especially in wastewater treatment and sanitation. I come from a robotics background, and in the robotics research, we always have to look for the inspiration where we can figure out solutions. We're engineers, we're trying to find solutions to problems. And so I'm not going to speak about all the examples I have here, but just to draw your attention to the bottom right, I could get the laser. It's a wonderful example of two different life forms working together to feed each other. So we have the Pameridia insect, which is the only insect which cannot be trapped by the carnivorous Rorigula plant. So it can freely roam on the stem. The plant traps every other insect that flies around, but the plant is unable to consume the insect. So the Pameridia insect will walk freely on the stem, consume the trapped prey, and then once it digests, it defecates on the stem to feed the plant from the prey it caught but hasn't been able to consume. So these are examples that we've been using in our kind of research, studying these different biological systems and trying to understand how we could develop systems using biology to help us address some of the environmental problems that we're facing. So when we talk about bioenergy, or when we're thinking about these different biological mechanisms, we are referring to bioelectricity, and the next couple of slides will be introducing this bioelectrochemical systems. And I'm just showing you examples here of what we normally see in our natural environment. So the picture on the left is where we see iron oxidation. These are photoferrotrophic bacteria. They basically oxidize iron 2 to iron 3, and we see this kind of red color, very vivid red color on the surface of the rivers. That's a microbial reaction, and there's an electron transfer process taking place to make that happen. The second example on the right is biofouling. Biofouling is again the process of getting electrons out of different substrata, because that organism, whatever life form it may be, it needs electrons. So the attachment onto the metallic surface results in electrons being taken from the substratum itself for the life form to exist. So with that in mind, very quickly we'll run through what we all know as a water column. So going from the very top, aerobic degradation, to the middle, facultative metabolism, to the very bottom, strict anaerobic metabolism. That's on the carbon cycle. The same we have happening for the nitrogen, nitrification, denitrification, and the same we have for sulfur and iron and manganese, as I explained in the previous photo. So this slide is just helping you see the world of microbes that we're experimenting with. And along all those different metabolic pathways, we have species which are electroactive, which means that they give us electrons for the applications that we need. So where we use these microbes, it's inside this technology. It's a very cartoon kind of image. I'm showing here a description of a microbial fuel cell. I don't know if you're familiar with the technology, but I'll very quickly introduce it. We have two half cells, a negative, which is the anode on the left, and a positive, which is the cathode on the right. And they're separated by a semi-permeable membrane, and we heard about membranes in the previous talk. So here's an example where such membranes could be used. Inside the anodic chamber, we use some of those microbes I showed on the previous slide, and we feed them with organic matter. Organic matter could come from wastewater, human waste, detritus. The microbes, depending on the metabolism and depending on where they are on the water column, they will break down the substrate and they will take their carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, sulfur, all those elements that they need for their growth and maintenance. And in doing so, they need to respire. Now, anaerobic organisms respire through electron transfer. They need a substratum to be able to give their electrons to. In this case, we provide them with an electrode on the left-hand side, and the microbes effectively become electron donors. They break down the substrate, they donate electrons to the electrode. That electrode is connected to the positively charged electrode, which is on the cathode side, so we allow electrons to flow through as part of a circuit. We have cations coming through the membrane, so the combination or recombination of electrons, cations, and, for example, oxygen completes the reaction, and therefore we can see current being produced. Here's two examples of what a microbial fuel cell looks like. The one on the top right is the stereotypical analytical form of a microbial fuel cell. The one on the bottom right is the advancement that we've made over the years. That's effectively a flower pot. It's a ceramic tube. There's nothing more to it than that. We got rid of all the plastic and all the other complexities, and it's basically a ceramic material, which again is a membrane. With one electrode on the one side and the other electrode on the other side, we basically have a microbial fuel cell. So in the previous slide, on the electrode I was showing those oval shaped, let me go back, on the anode electrode. So those are electroactive organisms. They basically live on the electrode. Here's an example of a Schoanella onidensis with a protrusion of a nanowire. That's a form of attachment for the microbe onto a substratum, which is also a live part of a circuit. That's how the microbes basically conduct electrons from the inner Krebs cycle all the way to the electrode surface. And these are the biofilms that we're trying to encourage growing on our electrodes, because that's basically our electricity generator inside the microbial fuel. So the more we have, and the better well organized they are as a biofilm, the more electricity we can generate, and you can see that in the next slide. So here's an example, just very quickly, to say that the microbes, the more we have, as I said, as part of the biofilm, the more power we generate, but up to a certain point. So what we see here is that the power is directly proportional to the metabolic rate, Q, met. Growth rate, Greek mu, is directly proportional to the metabolic rate, and therefore power is directly proportional to the growth rate. That means that the better we care for our microbes and the better we feed them, the more power we can generate. And here's how we do that. This also goes back to the presentation from the first speaker on miniaturization, or kind of making systems smaller. So here's some of the work we've done. The red curve shows a reduction in size, those ceramic cylinders I was showing, and the blue curve shows the corresponding increase in power output. So here, power output is inversely proportional to the reactor size. So we're very heavily moving towards miniaturization. And here's an example of the highest power output system we had. That's 2.5 milliwatts of power from 3.6 milliliters of reactor volume. So with that in mind, we have basically put this into practice. What you'll see here is a family of robots. We call them Icobots, or ecological robots. The video that plays on the top left is Icobot 1. That's the first generation of the Icobot family. This is a small robot which is phototactic. All it can do is follow the light. We inoculated it with E. coli and fed it with table sugar. We gave it a lot of chemistry to help it run, and then we just allowed it to follow the light. And as you can see from the real-time clock in the background, it took about 20 minutes to cover a distance of 50 centimeters, so it's a very slow-moving robot. The next videos that you should hopefully see playing are the next generations. The one on the bottom right will not run. So the bottom left is the second generation Icgab 2. We got rid of all the chemistry now. We're using a mixture of microbes that live in symbiosis. We have fed those microbes with prawn shells, grass clippings, rotten fruit, dead flies, and table sugar to be able to compare. And this robot is now able to move towards the light, but also tell us something about the temperature. So if you like, it's a robot with a telemetry. We can get some information from a remote environment. The one on the top right is the next generation, that's Icgab 3. That's the first robot we've built, which completes the whole thermodynamic cycle of fresh food ingestion, onboard digestion, and waste egestion, and all that done by the robot. The one in the middle is similar principle, but soft-bodied. So the idea there is that the robot lives on water. I need to be mindful of time. It lives on water, and effectively it opens two mouths, front and back, and it rows itself forward, bringing in dirty water or contaminated water for the microbes to clean before it then does that again. So what you will notice here is that all these artifacts, they have pulse motion behavior or intermittent behavior, which, like the animals I showed on the first slide, they behave like animals. So they have to go to sleep to recover their energy levels before they wake up and do something useful. Here's if you like, the real life implementation of robot. This is a similar kind of artifact at the denitrification tank of a very large wastewater treatment plant in North Italy, in Milan. And what we were also seeing here, the data that I show on the graph, is that the analog voltage data we were recording from the microbial fuel cells effectively reflected the chemical oxygen demand. In other words, the organic loading of the denitrification tank. So we basically gave them a free sensor with which they could avoid going to the denitrification tank every hour to collect the sample, go back into the lab, and do the technique for measuring chemical oxygen demand. So here is where we've used our microbial fuel cells with a bit of artificial intelligence. This was a European project which allowed us to build a 3D printer which was maintaining microbial fuel cells, but it was doing so by artificial intelligence. So the machine is able to read the performance of the microbial fuel cells. Hopefully the movie will play. And by doing so, it's able to identify which microbial fuel cell is underperforming. So the machine picks up liquid food and feeds the underperforming microbial fuel cell so that it can continue running and get up to speed with the rest of the community. Here's the robot running. This is done through a feedback loop and through artificial intelligence. The robot on its own is identifying the underperforming microbial fuel cell and then nurturing that to bring it to the same level so that we have a uniform stack for the next application. This second European project was asking us to introduce microbial fuel cells into our households or into buildings. So here we introduced microbial fuel cells in bricks, inside bricks. The movie you see playing is us introducing microbial fuel cells into Venetian bricks. But of course, the project was asking us to do something much more complex. So what we were doing here, we were suggesting how microbial fuel cells could be integrated into the architecture of our households. The 15 modules you see in the middle are the 15 microbial fuel cells. The green boxes on the top represent photosynthesis, if this was in the roof, and then the containment is in the bottom. And here's the example of the living wall as we call it, as part of this living architecture. Hopefully this movie will play. It's a very complex system, but the energy used by the microbial fuel cells, just with the example with the robots before, we now used it to run the AI of the living wall, but also to power the motorized window, which if the movie plays, it's in the middle top. You will see the motorized window operating every 2 minutes for a whole
Professor
day.
Yanis, sorry to remind you, you have about 5 more minutes.
Thank you. If the movie will play, so there we go. You can see the motorized window. This is an accelerated video recording, but all the energy is coming from human urine, going through the microbial fuel cells, running the microcontroller and all the AI, all the kind of backend, if you like, and the excess energy is powering a motorized window. Modern buildings nowadays have motorized windows for controlling temperature. So here's a now scaled up version of the technology. The same microbial fuel cells have been put in rural communities. The example on the left is a girls' boarding school in rural Uganda. And the one on the right is our installation at Glastonbury Music Festival. I don't know if you're familiar with Glastonbury Music Festival. Very popular in the UK. It brings about 250,000 people on one farm for 5 days. So the organizers are looking for on-site sanitation because the loading on the land is phenomenal for that short period of time. So with the same microbial fuel cells are effectively using human waste directly to produce electricity to power lights. And what you see here is the Uganda installation. We had a light outside to illuminate the path to the toilet block of the secondary boarding school, and light modules inside the cubicles powered by the pupils' waste to provide lighting at night, but most importantly to provide safety at night because there was a lot of crime taking place at those toilets. Same but similar kind of installation in Kenya, in Nairobi, North Mathare. This is a slum. Again, it's a school where we installed our microbial fuel cells underneath the toilets, and we used electricity to power the lights. And here's a third installation in Durban, in South Africa. This was part of a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation engineering field testing platform where we were comparing with other 7 technologies in informal settlement communities how electricity can be used to power lights at night, which is powered by people's waste. So with that, hopefully, so one last thing, the use of ceramics, that membrane and the specification of the membrane can allow us to filtrate the human waste. So with the appropriate use of ceramics, we have been generating this liquid called catholite. It's a synthesized liquid from, depending on the wastewater we use. In a particular case with basil, we showed that we can use the catholite to grow basil hydroponically. So this is now directly coming into the agriculture. So with that in mind, just a summary slide to say that these microbial fuels or bioelectrochemical systems are a platform technology. We can take wastewater, including human waste, to produce direct electricity, clean water, liquid fertilizer, data for AI, and then all the secondary and tertiary benefits. The technology directly aligns with Sustainable Development Goals 6, 7, 11, and 4, and we can discuss those in our Q&A. A big thank you to the team I've been working with for the last 20 years. A warm thank you to the University of Agriculture, the Faculty of Agricultural Technology for inviting me to be here. And a big thank you to our sponsors, funders and collaborators, in particular UK Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council, the European Commission, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Oxfam, and all our academic collaborators, and you for your attention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Professor Yanis. Yeah, please have a seat. To be honest, I'm really amazed with your presentation because it is like, as I said, like a science fiction movie, like futuristic movie that we can generate any electricity from waste. How far research has been doing? Is it applied for a full scale, or it is like still in the development that we need to wait for that full scale application?
There are always areas where we will need more development, but the aspects, especially the P-power aspect, which has advanced on the technology readiness level to level 8, that's ready for commercialization. That's precisely what we're working on.
Yeah, I'm imagining that Indonesian, the population of Indonesia is about 260 million people. If we do like urinating at the same time, then we can probably generate any like big electricity without burning any more coal. That's so cool, I think, the future. But we're still waiting for Dr. Yanis' research to be applied in the near future, hopefully. All right, so for all the participants, we still have about 20 more minutes for the Q&A session. If you have any questions, you can do you have any chat box for the Q&A session? No? You can directly raise your hand if you have any questions. For the first session, I want to give for 3 questions, for 3 people to have a question. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. The first question, I don't know your name. Can you raise? Yeah. Can you stand up? Only 1 question for each person. All right. No more than 1 question. We have very limited time for that.
Okay, I'll try to make it short. I'll try to introduce myself first. I am Rahma Alfiana Rizky. I'm from the Graduate School of Biosystems Engineering. And my research background is mainly for membrane fabrication. And from your presentation, I know that it can be applied for microbial fuel cell, and I'm quite intrigued by it. And as you have mentioned earlier, the more biofilm that forms on the electrode, the better it is to produce more electrical energy. Therefore, I assume that at one point, the microorganism will then accumulate. And my question is, will there be a point where the microorganism starts to deteriorate because of too much accumulation? And when that happens, is there any next step to take for us to maintain the productivity of the microbial fuel cell? Thank you.
All right, so the first question comes from Rahma. This is actually Professor Yusuf's student. Yeah, is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, that's the first question. Is there any time that the microbial cell or the microbes will deteriorate? The microorganism will deteriorate, and will it take any times to maintain that things? Right. So that's the first question. The second question. Yeah. The next one. Yeah. No. Right.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Brahmani, and I'm from Indonesian Oil Palm Research Institute. Thank you very much for all the presenters, but Professor Yanis, I'm really interested in your research. Basically, you're turning microbes into electricity, right? So here I'm trying to, jump with a wild idea to just switch the idea to using electricity to identify microbes. Is it possible? So based on your research, I believe that you have tried several types of microbes that have different bioelectrical impedance. So is it possible if we use bioelectrical impedance analysis to actually do a non-destructive, like food contamination identification, or even plant disease identification without actually destroying the plants, just using the bioelectrical impedance analysis? Thank you.
Right, thank you for the second question. If I'm not mistaken, it is about, can we identify any certain microorganism with that kind of, I'm not really sure.
bioelectrical
Alright,
impedance
yeah,
analysis.
That's okay. That's not my first, so I'm not sure about these things.
Correct. Thank you.
For the third question, all right. Yeah. Can you get the microphone?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Ainur Rahmawati from biotechnological student. So I want to ask you, is there any particular treatment?
Whom you asking? Whom you asking? Prof. Yanis, Prof. Yusuf, Prof. Noguchi? Prof. Yusuf or Prof. Yanis?
Prof. Yanis.
Prof. Yanis.
So
are you a center of attention for today? All right. Go on.
No, so is there any particular treatment that can increase the voltage produced by the MFC? Because in some of literature that I have read, the voltage produced by the MFC is very small. So I think from your presentation, MFC can be
Can you clarify your question to be a bit clearer?
So, is there any particular treatment that can increase the voltage produced by MFC?
Is there any particular treatment that can increase the electricity produced by the MFC?
Yeah.
All right. Is that your question?
Yeah.
One question only.
No,
right.
Exactly. I have two questions. So.
All right. Is it related to the previous question?
How many liters of urine are needed to turn on one light bulb?
How many? What's the volume of the urine which is needed to
turn on the one light bulb?
Yeah, I'm sure you got it. Right. So we already have 3 questions, and all to Prof. Yanis. As I mentioned, that he is now the center of attention for today's meeting. Right. Can you answer that 3 questions, please?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you all for your questions and for allowing me to elaborate a little bit more on the work we've been doing. So I'll go with the first question. So with regard to the biofilm and the accumulation, there is indeed a possibility for the biofilm to be accumulating if some conditions are unfavorable for maintaining the operation of the microbial fuel cell. The key thing with these electroactive microbes is that they need to have direct contact with the electrode, which means that there's only a certain thickness of biofilm beyond which microbes will not reach the electrode. And that means that if they are electroactively metabolizing, they will simply fall off. What I'm trying to say is that if we maintain optimum loading conditions for the microbial fuel cell, which means the optimum charge transfer that the biofilm can give, any excess biomass will simply not have access to the electrode and will be in a hydrodynamically controlled system. They will be washed out. If for whatever reason conditions have changed and we're not drawing the right amount of charge from the microbes, that means that the microbes will diversify, they will turn to fermentation, which is non-electroactive, and they will start accumulating, which means they will erode the inner layers of the biofilm. So one way of controlling the biofilm is by maintaining that good rate of charge transfer to keep the electroactivity of the biofilm as live as possible. That leads me to the second question, how we can perhaps identify microbes by using electrochemical impedance. You're absolutely right, there are ways of doing that, and in fact with some new techniques that we have introduced which involve additional electrodes. We can modulate the redox environment of the anode, and if we have a biotic cathode, of the cathode as well. And by doing so, we're holding the reactions to a specific redox level, which can only be done by those species of organisms that we know we have in our community. But we also know that, as you said, microbes have their own kind of bioelectrochemical impedance signature, and with this non-invasive technique, we are then able to not only encourage those reactions, we can then reinforce that those reactions are made by the specific species. So that's a way of identifying the species. If we were dealing with a pathogenic disease in a plant or the food industry, we could be using these additional electrodes to be able to identify which microbes are giving what signature, and then we'll be able to tell just by looking at the redox potential what's happening. And that leads me to the third question. If we can increase the output of the microbial fuel cell. So first of all, if I can make an analogy with, for example, photovoltaic cells, with photovoltaic panels, the difference is between a cell and a panel is that the panel consists of many cells for the same reason as microbial fuel cells. Even a photovoltaic cell does not produce enough electricity to do something directly. That's why we have panels of a large number of cells. The thermodynamic limit of a microbial fuel cell is 1.14 volts, and that depends on, that's basically the difference between the redox of NAD and ADH on the microbial metabolism. That's the most negative redox couple, all the way to oxygen. So we go from minus 0.32 to plus 0.82. That's the maximum thermodynamic limit. Under a maximum power transfer, open circuit voltage halves. So in reality, a working microbial fuel cell, if we're lucky, produces half a volt. One way of increasing the output, and the way we did it for lighting, is to, just like following the photovoltaic panel path, we connect multiple microbial fuel cells together in modules, and then multiple modules in stacks, which then allow us to connect microbial fuel cells in series to increase the voltage, or parallel to increase the current. The combination of the two gives us the desired power output level that we need. In some applications, we have been using energy storage as well, so that we could accumulate the energy during the day and then use the energy during the evening. A second way of increasing the voltage output of a microbial fuel cell goes back to the additional electrodes I mentioned before. Because we are able to in situ change the redox potential, going back to that minus 0.32 and plus 0.82 anode and cathode, by using these additional electrodes, we can push the redox of the anode to a more negative level and the redox of the cathode to a more positive level, which then increases the potential difference between the two. And this is one technique we use to increase the voltage output of a single microbial fuel cell. I hope that answers all questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Yanis. I cannot explain it. I cannot repeat it to you because that's not my area, and it's quite difficult for a person who are not in the area. If you probably happy with the answer, all right? All right. Any more question? Finish? We still have about 8 more minutes. If you still have any question, one question or two. All right. If there is only question, if there is no more question, that's all right. Doesn't really matter. If you probably want to have any discussion outside the foyer room, you can approach Professor Yusuf, or you can approach Professor Yanis as well, or Professor Halida. They will be still in Malang, probably for the next 1 or 2 days, and you can if probably you are interested on their research and want to be their future students, that's all right as well. And I'm sure they're happy for accepting you for their next future students. And yeah, that's all. Yeah, if there's no more question, I think that's all for this session. Thank you very much for all the speakers today. You're very great. And for all the participants, thank you very much for your active participations. Good afternoon for everyone. See you in the near future. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, now we will have another token of appreciation from the faculty to keynote speakers. Please our lovely Dean, Professor Yusuf Hendrawan, and keynote speakers, Professor Yusuf Wibisono and Professor Yanis to come forward, and we will take pictures too.
Should I take a picture as well? No. I don't have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and participants, I hope you've had the opportunity to absorb the insightful discussion and engage with our distinguished speakers during plenary session 2. Your active participation has been truly remarkable.
Now, to give everyone a chance to refresh, recharge, and engage in valuable networking, we are going to take a lunch break for 15 minutes. located on the first floor of this building. The parallel session will be held after a lunch break, so online participants are expected to enter the room starting at 1 o'clock. Offline participants are expected to take part in the parallel sessions located at the GLB building on the second floor at 1 o'clock.
The parallel and poster session will be followed by a closing ceremony that will be held online. Thus, all attendees do not need to return to the Widyaloka Convention Hall. With that, I wish you a pleasant and nourishing lunch break. We will see you back ready to dive into the rest of our event. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful event.